Hello, hello, one and all. How is everyone doing today? I just wanted to make sure that everything was functioning properly. I want to welcome everyone to our pre-show. This is where we keep things nice and chill before the show starts, and we let other creators come in and give them an opportunity to let people know who they are, what they do, why they should subscribe to your channel. I know some of you guys are just saying subscribe to me because I'm close to 1,000 subscribers, but I say tell them why. Tell them why you're great and have them come on down. Some of you are here for the first time ever. We do this pre-show as an opportunity for other content creators who have great content to come in here and promote, and it gives us an opportunity to just kind of have a little bit of discussion before the show starts. I can ask you about your weekend, you can ask me about mine, and we can talk about some other upgrades that are happening with the show as well. Those of you who do not know, make sure you toggle your stream to 1080p. We are going to be streaming in high resolution for the first time ever, 1080p, ultra low latency, 30 frames a second. So you're definitely going to want to make sure you do that. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I think I'm even gonna shuffle some more things around really quick because I'm not 100% satisfied with how it looks just yet. So I think we might tidy some stuff up a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Now, I did notice one last error before the show started today that I had no way to test for, is the comments for sellers or viewers of the show are in gray for their name, and we'll get that corrected by the next show, but it's just basically cloning it in from eBay, so I wasn't able to get it done just right. So we got a bunch of people in the audience today. I'm going to do my best to say hello to every single one of you guys. We got Pat the Reseller. Let me just guess. I'm going to say he's most likely present and accounted for. And then we've got Adam Exploits. Hey, Adam, congrats on your growth. I'm looking forward to seeing some original content coming out of you, though. Show me some new moves that you might got. Big Bison, ready to watch and list. This is going to be a great episode to list to. So if you have some work that you want to do while you're watching this show, I encourage you to do so. Also, guys, with all the new tech that we're using today, please let me know if there's any issues with sound or video or any other problems that you might encounter, and we'll get those addressed as quickly as possible. I'm already seeing an issue with one of my key lights not being close enough. Give me 1 second. I think that's about right. Yeah, that back shelf was looking just a little bit dim back there. I'm gonna go ahead and... Are you falling? Oh no. Hold on. Those of you who don't know, I have a massive key light over here. See this? And then this is the light that lights up this shelf back here. So this shelf looks beautiful here in the background. Just balances everything out. Let me see who else we have here. Who are the other lovely people that are joining us tonight? Mindy, as always. Oh, you know what? I ought to put this on silent, like an actual professional might do. Silence their cell phone before going live on air. That'd be a brilliant idea. Mindy, as always, thank you. She's got the tea and cookies available in the lobby if you're looking. Red Neckerson Resells. Hello from Pensacola. Hello from Bakersfield. Happy to have you. Kiki's mom, thank you again for being one of our newest patrons. Happy to always have you too. Who else do we have in here? Brandy Hunter, all right. Smooth with the V, Jazz. Dang, Skippy. Adam giving me props on my shirt. This is the Pink Pineapples. It was seen earlier this week on Corey's channel. We'll talk about that here in a bit. And for this momentous occasion, being in 10K, I went ahead and got my shirt pressed. Actually, I got all my shirts pressed. It's something new that I'm going to try and get into the habit of. I don't like having wrinkles in my shirts. Who else do we have in here? Let's see, Tammy White. Hello to you, Tammy. Pleasure to see you again. Love the shirt. Thank you. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of new ones that we're going to be rolling through. Good to see you listing. Yep, I'm trying to price obscure CDs presently. Make sure you utilize Amazon as well. You can use the front scanner for ones that don't have barcodes, which can save you a ton of time. My name is Lisa. I am Kiki's mom, IRL. Okay. 100%. I'll do my best to call you Lisa. And I'll be honest with you. I got about 40 people that I've remembered their screen name and their real name, and it's very difficult to add a new one on, but I will do my best. If you change your name on YouTube, I can guarantee you I'll call you Lisa. So I'm going to take a look at everything's looking good as far as brightness is concerned. How's the high definition working for you guys? Are you guys enjoying that? Let me turn down my audio just a little bit here. I'm doing everything in my power to reduce my CPU usage tonight. We're gonna be chugging, just barely chugging along to keep this bad boy going, because this is using a lot of resources on my computer to maintain this stream right now. We got about 13 minutes till we go live. If you guys have any pre-show questions, let me know. Everything looks and sounds great. Thank you so much for that check, Tammy. And if you haven't done so, make sure you click the gear icon on your screen and make sure it is in fact set to 1080p for tonight's stream, okay? That means all of our items are going to look super crispy. You're going to be able to see the high definition, and check out this magic. I can now manually zoom in. Look how sharp this is. It's a little too real though, doesn't it? And then we can even zoom further out if you guys want to see more of the studio. We can actually zoom way out, and you guys can see that key light over here, and you guys see a little bit more of the side, but we'll probably get it right to there. That looks really good. That looks sharp. Yeah. And forgive the angles. I know this, I don't know about you, but my OCD is really bothering me with how this is cornered out, but there isn't much I can do about it right now. Oh, look at now, I'm blocking my own link. Let me fix this. Can't have that. Can't be blocking the links. There we go. Okay. My little people aren't little anymore. And thank you, Pam. Pleasure to have you in here as always. Thank you to the 18 of you who are watching so far. If you'd like to, feel free to hit that like pre-show. We're going to have a very interesting show for you guys today. I've got a lot of stories. I've got a lot of news. We've got a lot of items to showcase as well. We're going to have a little bit of everything to see. Hello to you, Misha. Thanks for jumping on in. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. I was everywhere this week. Lot going on. If you guys have any questions that you would like answered on air, feel free to submit them now, and we can get them added in for the actual show. We're also going to be catching up on some unfinished news from last week that we ran out of time on. The goal for tonight's show is 2 hours, not including pre-show. We're going to do our best to keep it to there, but no guarantees. Sometimes these things run long. Thank you, Misha. I love this shirt too. And you know, I know some people that would give me a lot of trouble for this. Adam Exploits in the chat does not like the color pink and does not like men wearing the color pink. You got a very firm opinions on that. But pink is frankly one of my favorite colors. I got my giant pink cup over here, which I'm fearing may not have enough water in it for tonight's show. Actually, I'm positive it doesn't. I'm gonna get some water really quick. I'm back. My boy wears pink shirts. What, gray three-piece suits? With gray three-piece suits constantly. That's fantastic. Gray and pink is a wonderful combination. Man or woman doesn't matter when it comes to pink. Just got to have the right skin tones for it. I agree 100%. There's certain colors I just simply cannot pull off no matter how hard I try. Hello to you, FGS. I should call you Figs. 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 Did I leave? Yes, I left for a moment so I could get some extra water. These sessions go a little bit long sometimes, and if I don't bring enough water, I will be dying by the end of the show. And then these lights really dry up everything in this room. They put out a lot of heat. I wish I could, show you right now just the amount of lights that are in here to be able to do this. It's a little insane. Good on you, Pam. That pink is important. I don't know if I can condone the fedora, but I can condone the color pink. Yeah, I need to get my suit put together for eBay Open this year. I am still grossly underprepared for eBay Open. I've been having some issues with YouTube as well as far as finalizing and receiving the funds which I've earned, which it's turning into a little bit of a nightmare, but we're going to be working on some new things here over the next month to alleviate that, but we'll be talking about that at the end of the show. For other reasons, I'm just reading through my notes, guys, making sure that we are ready for tonight's show. These notes I wrote this week on Thursday, and I went ahead and followed up to try and get some additional information on the stories, but nothing really changed and no extra news came out since Thursday. I'm going to check one more story really quick. Nope, that still hasn't changed. Nice, easy money. I sold a bunch of stuff today. Who would have ever thought that getting 2 negative feedbacks removed off my account would have a drastic improvement in the quantity of sales that I would get over the next 48 hours? Yep. I can't stress this enough. There's no such thing as having an okay amount of negative feedbacks. You just got to try and get every one of them yanked off. The only time I would say it would be perfectly acceptable is if they leave a false negative where it's, somebody sent me one today and it just said great and it had a negative feedback with it. And, if you don't want to take the time to call that in, I kind of get it. But, at a minimum, leave a response for it. If you guys don't know, you can reply to your feedbacks with the feedback reply forum link. I don't know if you guys have that link or not, but we can get it to you in our Bolorama group and it lets you respond to feedbacks underneath them. Very important to do that, if nothing else. This chair locked in place. So how's everyone doing today? Did everyone have a good weekend? Can I move this? I cannot move that. Everyone have a good weekend? Great sales? Let me just make this bigger over here. There we go. See, we own a 24 model Dodge car, so whenever the car goes out in the shows, all of us are dressed up. Guys in 3-piece suits and the girls are in flapper dresses. That's fantastic. Let's have a crazy awesome show this week. I would say that of all the shows that I've ever done, this is the most prepared I've ever been for one. This is probably the most calm I've ever been for one as well, coming into the show. I just feel really sharp today. I dealt with a lot of nonsense yesterday, which we're going to be talking about some of it, just because it's applicable for the industry and for personal improvement and dealing with conflicts and stuff like that. Future Fortunes, pleasure to have you in here as well. Thanks for tuning in. Yesterday was a rough day for everyone, yes. Four minutes out till our show starts. Here comes our last song, our great song. Pam's asking you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, guys. We're at 1,335 subscribers, give or take. If you haven't subscribed, we'd appreciate your subscription. And check this out. It's completely free, too. No cost. I love free. Free is my best friend. Me and free go way back. You guys don't realize this, but I'm going to go from 0 to 100 the moment that show starts. We're going to be doing 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's going to be great. I've heard about people doing the dumpster dive in college towns. I had a friend who was doing that, and then she got kicked off the university because she was going in there and poaching stuff, and they weren't too pleased about it. She was actually going a little bit harder because they have common areas in the dorms, and people were able to pile up stuff that they didn't want within the dorms so that other people could take it. And she actually went into the dorms, and she was just taking stuff that was intended for other students. But she used to go to that school before, so I guess she felt like it wouldn't be too big of a deal. But yeah, they booted her out of there. And then some schools are very strict about you even going through their dumpsters. So make sure you follow your applicable state laws when doing stuff like that. KLC Reselling, the one and only. You have 1 minute. You have 1 minute and 44 seconds to give everyone your best sales pitch as to why they should come and subscribe to your channel. You gotta make it good. We are on crunch time right now. Pat, I am 100% right there with you on that. My sales volume has been fantastic, but I will say that I have added close to 100 items in the last 10 days, though, to my store. Yeah, even going through curbside piles, there is laws regarding that on individual state level as well. So please make sure you follow those guidelines as well. KLC, she says, you should subscribe to me because I'm super cool. Now, here's the thing, okay? I know, KLC, we've had talks, but I cannot validate that statement as being factual. Now, I'm sure she believes wholeheartedly that she's cool, but unless I see some bona fide proof, I really can't. I can't put my name out there to vouch for her coolness. She's awesome. She's a great person. But definitely check her channel out if you haven't yet. Man, why are these comments getting auto-flagged? What is the word in that one that caught that one? Thumbcrack Picker, or aka BCP, thank you for tuning in tonight. Pleasure as always to have you. I'm trying to get better quality content up. New stuff is coming. Kelsey, I was actually really impressed. I sent you a message after I saw your last video. Very impressed. If you guys haven't seen, she did a garage warehouse upgrade video. Very nice. Inspired me to do my own. And yeah, I spent 5 hours doing mine after watching hers. So, guys, we are going too quickly? Nah, we're not going too quickly. Are you guys ready to start the show? I need the go ahead. I need the thumbs up. Can we go ahead and get this bad boy going? I think we're ready. Maybe? Maybe? Anyone? Yeah? Okay. 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Kraft with the Facebook group Bonanza Pickers Lounge, coming at you live again from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is June 9th, 2019, and I'm here with one heck of a show for you. First off, if you haven't done so yet, before I even say the titles of today's topics that we're going to be talking about, make sure you've hit that gear and you've selected 1080p. Tonight is our inaugural high-definition 1080p, 30 frames a second, ultra-low latency show. But on tonight's live broadcast, we're going to be covering a plethora of amazing topics. First and foremost, we're going to be talking about Prime Day being right around the corner. And I've got to know, are you going to be a buyer? Are you going to be a seller? And we're going to talk about some of the things that you might want to do to make sure you can maximize your opportunity on both of those avenues. On top of that, we're going to be talking about tax compliance, okay, and what's going on with Bonanza. And I know you guys love talking about taxes, but there's more news as always, and it's just important that you follow these rules or you could be facing suspension on a platform that not everyone uses, but you may want to even look into. On top of that, guys, we're going to be talking about how Fedex is firing back regarding undeclared hazmat packages and what you need to know regarding that. You know what, guys? I feel like I had the wrong intro song for that, and I don't know why. Was that the right? No, that wasn't the right intro song. Here, let me check something really quick. Properties, and I know this is so unprofessional, but you know, the thing is that music just did not seem right. And if you guys didn't notice, we made a lot of changes here on our end to make sure that everything looks the part and works the part. Is this the right song? I think this might be the one. Does that sound familiar to you guys? I think it is. Oh, hold on. Let me see. I think, yeah. That's the one that we use. I think. Okay, on top of that, guys, we're going to be talking about FedEx firing back over undeclared hazmat packages. If you guys been sending out stupid items that you shouldn't be sending out the way that you've been sending them, we're going to talk about what you need to know so you can avoid a $350 fine hitting your eBay account. It's important to be mindful of this because, you know, not everyone is in the know, and if you mess up, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and it's not as simple as a phone call to back out of it. On top of that, we're going to be talking about the Amazon bans. Okay, we meant to talk about this one last week, but we just got a little bit too backed up. We didn't have the opportunity to go into it in great detail the way I wanted to. So we're going to be talking about it. We're going to explain who's been affected and how you can protect your account moving forward in the future to ensure that this doesn't happen to you as well, because there's still going to be more ways of it coming in the future, and if you're not smart about it, you're going to lose your account too. And once you're off Amazon for good. So again, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be here on a Sunday night. I know, and I say this every week. I understand how important and valuable your time is, and I very much so value the fact that you've invited me into your home tonight so that I can share with you knowledge that I have found sourcing on the interwebs, so that way you don't have to. It'll be fun. On top of that, I want to thank our admins for tonight's show. We have both Pam and Mindy in the house tonight. Thank you, both of you, for being here. And I also want to give a shout out to our brand new patron, Kathleen. Thank you for joining our Patreon family this week, and we'll be talking about Patreon here in just a little bit. On top of that, I want to extend an extra special thank you to Miguel, Mr. Godinez. He went ahead and sent over some items to the show this week, so that way I can flip them out online for a few extra bucks and put it towards our eBay open goal that you see up in the top corner. Those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and break down what this show is all about. We cover e-commerce news, we cover practical training to help you make more money as a seller, and on top of that, we take a look at some items that I got throughout the week. So, we do this show live every week, so if you're watching this later, consider joining us after 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on my channel. But yeah, extra special thank you to both Kathleen and Miguel for helping us out with what we're doing. On top of that, guys, this week's sponsor, you can see him. I can never get this right. The camera's always flipped around. This week's sponsor, again, is Prairie Grit. If you haven't heard about Prairie Grit, we strongly recommend you check them out. It's a very interesting selling platform that allows you to list an unlimited amount of items for one flat rate each month. And on top of that, you pay no final value fees. Now accepting both PayPal and Stripe and working on an international release as well. Keep your eyes open for Prairie Grit. They're looking to make some waves. Use our promo code or our promo link, prairiegrit.com/free month, and get 1 free month worth of selling, which means you pay nothing to list You pay nothing when an item sells. You just get 30 days right off the bat, completely free. Okay? And they have an import tool that'll let you bring all your items straight across from eBay as well. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, and you're done. Import all your listings in just a couple of clicks. Thank you again to our sponsor, ProGrit.com. So last week, guys, when we were here, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. We talked about practical training to be a better Amazon seller. We talked about eBay Open and what they're doing. We talked about eBay and how they were openly supporting the Democratic left, which was a little bit of an interesting topic. We also took a look at eBay's shareholder meeting, and we did a deep dive on that meeting and some of the comments made by Devin Wenig. On top of that, we premiered our training video on dimensional shipping, which is getting quite a bit of traction here on YouTube. If you know somebody who needs assistance with that video, please send them across. If you see somebody asking for help on Facebook regarding this, and you'll see a lot more of it come the 23rd, there's going to be a lot of angry people making post online saying, what is going on? Why is this happening? Just direct them over to our video. On top of that, we had a ton of pickups last week too. So if you missed out on last week's show, I strongly recommend you check it out. Now, if you didn't get enough of me last week on this channel, I was all over the place. I did a 4-hour live stream on our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Bolorama. And that stream, I covered a lot of practical things that you can do to salvage goods that may have otherwise ended up in the trash bin to be able to get them listed back up on eBay and turn a profit with them. Now, some of those items I've already sold, but it's a 4-hour stream. It's really long. But if you want to throw on a movie and kind of watch it in the back, or do your listing and watch it in the background, by all means, go for it. I also spent 2 hours on the Reseller Rewind channel with Corey Barlow, the Power Reselling. That was a fantastic program. Recommend you check that out. I also spent a couple hours on Landshark Picker's channel. We did a community chit chat. So if you're looking to hear from some other resellers as well. And then on my channel, guys, we did the 2 hours, on my Facebook group, our Facebook group. We did 2 hours live at the Bakersfield swap meet, and it wasn't without confrontation. We may talk about that later. But if you would like to see what it looks like when I actually go out and source and how I interact with people, you can get a little bit of a sample from there. Okay, KLC Reselling coming in with the £4, 9p. Comment says, messing up the dollar figure last time. Hope this fixes it. I can almost guarantee you that it won't, but I truly do appreciate that super chat. We'll see how the numbers sort out, and we're going to be talking about a little bit later too about the super chat. We're going to be rolling over to a new method of donation here within the next week or two, but we'll talk about that later. We got a lot of stuff going on, and thank you so much for that, KLC. I can't wait for you to hit 1,000 subs, so that way I can come on over and help support your channel as well, because I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. That brings our running total to a nice, clean, even 1025 and 98 cents. Aced. So thank you so much for that. Guys, so sometimes before I tear into the news, I like to talk to you about story time. Because why? Because it's important to me, okay? Some of the experiences and things that happened to me throughout my week, I feel that there's some big lessons and morals that can be taken away from that. I find myself inside a Buffalo Wild Wings the other day, okay? And I mean, I just happened to stumble in there. I went with a friend, and it was a good time. And my server, it was a gentleman, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but when he first came over to the table, he had an incredible amount of energy to him. And he had the right look to him as well. And I told him, after the meal was done and everything was, all put together, and he was great about resolving some issues that we had while we were there, I said, hey, have you ever considered doing more? And I don't mean this in a condescending sense. I mean, you were a fantastic server. You did a great job tonight. I'm very pleased with my experience overall. But every now and then you meet a person that you can tell has extra characteristics about them that might be able to put them into a higher bracket than most, especially when we're talking about personality characteristics. It's not tooting my own horn, but not everyone is going to be comfortable jumping in front of a camera, using high energy, being on air for a couple hours at a time. And I could tell that he had a certain personality trait to him that would be very well suited for either high-level customer service. So we're talking, sales or some type of brand, like an ambassador for a quality brand, like, an Apple or a Google or a Yahoo. He had that right energy and personality to him, that right bite, and he had the appropriate look as well. When we talk about corporate America, we talk about, any type of retail situation where you're going to have a person in the forefront, that look is important. I even say this too when you're going out and sourcing. Depending on where you're sourcing, having the correct look is very important. And we can talk about that a little bit more later if you'd like. And I told him, hey, have you ever considered doing a little bit more? A little more and beyond? And he told me, he's like, no, I'm really good here. And I'm like, well, I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean in the sense that I think that your characteristic style could land you a job with really, really great opportunity. Now, this guy that I was talking to, he was probably right around 25 years of age, very young still, and still had a lot of life ahead of him. And he looks at me and he says, no, I'm really okay right now. And I think he may have thought for a second that I was trying to present him with a job. Now, that word okay, we talked about this like 3 weeks ago, and we talked about how it's very important for your own personal success that you never find yourself in a place where you are okay. Okay? Okay is stagnant. Okay means that you are not interested in looking for growth. You're not keeping that door open. You're not holding your foot in the door jamb and seeing if an opportunity comes your way. You're okay. Now, it goes without saying that this show would have been perfectly functional 6 months ago or a year ago. Everything would have been okay. But I made it a very important goal for me to make sure that we continually move the goalpost further forward, and that we never settled with okay. That we have always had the goal in mind of producing the highest quality program each and every week and looking to make it better and better and better with time. And I hope that you guys have seen that progress, and those of you who have supported the progress, thank you. It means a lot to me. It truly does. And I tell him, he says to me, he's like, I make really good money, so I can't complain. And I think to myself, I'm like, okay, we live here in California. The average server makes about $12, $13 an hour, and he looks at me and he gives me this, he leans in, he's like, I'm actually making about $100 a day. And then it dawns on me, I forget that each person has their own individual perspective when it comes to success. And I've said the same thing true before of own individual perception regarding, what was I thinking of just now? I'm sorry, each person has their own perception of success. Oh yeah, they also have their own perception of trying their hardest. You can see somebody doing something, you can say, hey, come on, try a little bit harder. And they can say, I'm trying my hardest. And for them, they may truly be giving you 100%, even if their 100% is your 20%. Okay, so for him, his perception of success is making $100 a day. And then I say, there's really big opportunities out there in the world. I would hate to see somebody with your skill set just kind of, being satisfied with $100 a day. And then he says, you know what, man, I just had a newborn too. Okay. He's like, and this gives me the opportunity to be able to work 5 or 6 hours a day, make my $100, work 5 days a week, and then be able to be with my child and do my so on and so forth. And it reminded me of another friend that I had that has put themselves in a situation where they have gotten so unbelievably stuck in the cycle of being okay that I felt it was important that I gave a full disclaimer and told you guys, do not put yourself in a position where you are stuck with okay, where you have, no matter what you do, you cannot get out of that situation. Without the divine intervention, without something crazy happening, will you not be able to get out of that situation because you have gotten so comfortable there. Okay? So I told him, I'm like, I wish you the best looking forward, and I do hope that you will consider utilizing all of your talents moving forward, because there is a whole world of opportunity out there. And I remember when I was younger and I felt very comfortable. Even before this show started airing, I was very, very comfortable. And I decided it was time to mix it up because I knew what else was out there and what else was possible. Thank you so much to you, Cheesehead Treasures. You're always the nicest guy. You drop in, you throw a tenner, and, I always tell you, come join our inside group. We'd love to be able to work with you. So thank you so much for that $10. His comment reads, thanks, Jay. If you ever need anything, man, you want some help with graphics, you got a project you want to do, anything like that, just let me know. Okay, I'll be happy to be there for you. That $10 is definitely going to go a long way towards our goal as well. So I truly do appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. We got a few more comments in. We got BCP. NASCAR Man. Hey, NASCAR Man, thank you so much for dropping in tonight, and I appreciate you taking the moment to speak with another friend of mine regarding, some of the things that we spoke about during the week. It is truly appreciated that you've taken that time. And yes, Pat says it's all perspective. Perspective is key, guys. Perspective is key. And I just, I wanted to share that story with you for a while now. I'm happy I did. We're going to be talking a little bit more about perspective later, but without further ado, let's go ahead and let's shuffle on over to the news. I think we got our slideshow. No. Where did our slideshow go? Holy cannoli. Give me one moment, guys. I apologize. I tested all this stuff. I bet you it's hidden. There it is. There it is. Okay, first up, guys. We always like to take a moment and thank our patrons before the show, the news. There we go. Can I get this right? Just one time. One time. We like to thank our patrons each and every show for helping make this show possible. If you guys have ever heard PBS say it before, the show is proudly brought to you by sponsors like you. Well, that's exactly how this show works, and it would not exist without the help of our patrons. Extra special thank you to Pam, Matthew, Pamela, Ashley, Anna and Joe, Allie, Lee James, Brandy, and Rob. And again, an extra special thank you to our newest patron, Kathleen. And a special extended thank you to all of our patrons who help make this show possible. If you'd like to support this show and get some fantastic perks in return, please visit the link in the comments as well as in the description, and you can help keep us on air as well. So, I'm sorry, I was just looking over. I got so much gear blocking my screen right now. So thank you to our patrons. We'll talk a little bit more about Patreon here in a bit as well. So guys, first and foremost, did you hear about Prime Day? Prime Day is coming up. Did you do Prime Day last year? Oh, and I forgot to mention too, you might hear me talking about houses or the concept of buying houses. I'll explain why later, but buy a house. And some of you guys already know why I'm going to be mentioning that randomly during the show. But Prime Day is coming up. It's right around the corner. Prime Day 2019. I want to get you guys the most important details that you need to know. Now, some of you are sellers, okay, like myself, and you're doing FBA and you're sending your inventory in. Amazon has said that the last day to be able to get your inventory in is going to be June 27th. That is going to be the deadline to get your inventory into the warehouse. If it does not get there by then, there's a chance that it might not make it for Prime Day. So it's important that you stay on top of that. And yes, Money Mental UK, I would strongly suggest that you consider getting multiple mortgages, maybe even some home insurance, maybe invest into some low-cost rental properties as well. 100%. KLC understands completely as well. It's a little bit of a thing, yes, and eBay Business is giving me the freedom to buy a property with the house. That is top-notch, Pat. That is top-notch. And interest rates are dirt cheap right now. So, Prime Day right around the corner. If you don't get your inventory in by the 27th, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Now, on top of that, I know the default option for sending your packages in is going to be UPS. I have heard a whole lot of chatter from different people stating that FedEx can actually be a faster option for getting inventory to the warehouse. So if you find yourself cutting it very, very close, look into the options regarding FedEx. Now, depending on where you live, FedEx may actually be a cheaper option for all of your boxes going in, believe it or not, depending on where you live. But at minimum, it can be a faster option to get your boxes sent in as well. Now, we don't exactly know when Prime Day is going to be, and Amazon kind of does this to create a little bit of false hype. If no one knows and people are talking and people are speculating as far as when it's going to be, then that just gets some extra news and extra press, just like we're doing right now. We're talking about Prime Day, so I guess it's kind of worked for them. Now, based on previous years, I've done a little bit of research, and based on how the days land, I'm predicting it's going to land on the 16th of July, based on historical data from the last 3 or 4 years worth of primes. But there was a leaked email that's come out, and I cannot validate this leaked email that's stating that it's going to be on the 15th of this year. God, look at this little chunk of hair right here. God. There we go. It's going to be on the 15th this year is what they're saying. So, get ready. Get ready for it. And I do want to know, guys, is anyone waiting to buy something for their house or for themselves, and they've been waiting for Prime Day to roll back around again. I'm telling you, I got a handful of purchases that I need to make. Everything from different tech here for the office to things that I need to take on the go with me. I'm looking forward to it. What are you guys looking to buy with Prime Day this year? Now, next up, guys, we're going to be talking about Bonanza. Now, those of you who don't know, Bonanza is an alternate selling platform, just like our sponsors, Prairie Grid. It's just another place that you can actually send stuff off to. I'm sorry, I just realized some of my other assets are not loaded incorrectly. What is going on here? We got the black bar. Give me 1 second. You know, I test as much of this stuff as I possibly can before the show starts, but some of these things I simply cannot test before the show, and I know that sounds crazy. Let me make sure we got our... Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that all of this is working correctly. How is everyone doing out there? Super chat notification. We need to move that up. It's literally like playing with puzzle pieces, guys. It's a little bit tricky. Give me 1 more second. So sorry, guys. Just got to make sure we get this right. So basically, when I switched over from 720p resolution to 1080p resolution, I had to resize and reformat everything, including the chat. You can notice the colors are a little bit off from the previous week. That was all part of that. So hopefully we got everything going good. So Bonanza is basically another site where you can import all your eBay listings utilizing their API, and you can have another place to be able to sell stuff. Pat says, I ran a Bonanza account for 6 months and sold absolutely nothing. It wouldn't remove my eBay sales, and I was going to babysit a platform that would not sell my inventory. And that's the problem, guys. Sometimes when you utilize these APIs, which is, I can't remember the acronym off the top of my head, but it basically manages the back end, and it belongs to eBay. eBay's the one who owns that API, but it uses that import tool and the API to be able to manage your listings as they go between site to site. So if you have an item on eBay and you have an item on, let's say, Prairie Grid, if you sell it on Prairie Grid, it should delist off eBay. If you sell it on eBay, it should delist off Prairie Grid. It should go back and forth. Same thing with Bonanza. Now, sometimes the API stops working, and when it does, it can lead to crazy consequences. I sold a hat the other day, and the API failed, and I received a negative feedback from a customer. It was one of the most difficult negative feedbacks I've ever had to try and get removed. It took hours, 3 hours worth of phone calls, 5 different reps, 2 different supervisors, and then 1 floor manager just to get that feedback lifted. But I'm pleased to say that I did get it lifted. It was a nightmare. App Programming Interface. I'm a walk. Yes, so thank you. App Program Interface is the acronym for that. But we're talking about Bonanza because they are starting to crack down just a little bit more, and they want to make sure that you are set up correctly and you've approved Bonanza to do tax work on your account. So you have to make this change before the 17th of June. Now, if you don't, okay, you could be looking at a host of fees, and they can even suspend your account as well. So if you sell on Bonanza, you have to go and do that. KLC, have a good night. Thank you again for being here and for the super chat. So please make sure you go do that. Now, this is for all sellers who are currently accepting both PayPal and Amazon or Amazon Pay on their account. Now, I personally don't use Bonanza. I've never felt inspired to do so. And I understand how their search engines work within the site, how they do 1-cent bids for placement within Google, and how they index their listings. Now, you say you didn't sell anything for 6 months. Frankly, that doesn't surprise me, okay? And it's because when they take their listings, they just kind of all throw them inside of one bucket. So finding things can be incredibly difficult, and with keyword abuse from Chinese sellers, it makes it even more difficult to have your listings stand out where they're supposed to stand out, okay? So, so you have until the 17th to get that done. Now, Stripe is currently exempt from these tax restrictions as of now, so we're talking about PayPal and Amazon Pay users. Now, there's also new state tax rules for Alabama, Iowa, New Jersey, and Washington which will be overwritten by Bonanza's rules as well. If you are still selling online and utilizing these platforms, any platform that is doing tax work on your behalf, please make sure you have your tax tables set up accordingly. I don't care if you're on eBay or Bonanza or anywhere else, have your tax tables set up accordingly. Make sure you talk with the CPA as well. I do want you to understand that everything we talk about here on the show is considered for entertainment purposes. Please consult a tax professional before making any adjustments to your account. Anyone who tells you to do tax work and tells you this is exactly what you're supposed to do can become liable if something goes wrong on your end. So I will always say, please consult a CPA. It's not because I don't know what I'm talking about. It's because I don't want to be sued. Now, this is officially from Bonanza, and they said you must collect the taxes yourself if you are in a spot where you're going to be selling to places where you are tax liable. You must set up your tax tables. On top of that, they've done the same thing that both Etsy and Shopify have done. They've partnered up with TaxCloud, and this is something that happened back in February to help with the whole taxing process. It's good stuff to know. What's going on here in the comments? If anyone's getting crazy, just mute them. Okay, guys, everyone, let's all have some fun, but let's behave in the comments, please. Guys, next up, we're talking about FedEx. FedEx is fed up. They really are. Now, those of you who don't know, FedEx has been an option for shipping on eBay for a couple of years now. Some people have never even clicked on the option. Even with the old shipping format, you used to be able to do FedEx Smart Post, which was a hybrid shipping option between both FedEx and USPS, to where you could drop it off at either location and be able to get your package out, and whichever courier took it, you may see an increase in your price on the back end. Well, we got some new stuff going on with FedEx right now. They're getting a little bit... Here, I'm going to move my seat up. There we go. Fill up this window a little bit better. They're getting a little bit fed up right now, and they want to make sure that you understand what you need to know regarding shipping your items out. And the guidelines are so flippin' loose. It is horrifying. Now, those of you who use FedEx now already know that they have a lovely tendency to bump the price up on the back end if there's something wrong with your dimensions, or if they say something's wrong with your weight. They'll jam your price up and you'll see it on your invoice if you even check your invoice. I'll be honest, guys, I've been selling on eBay for 13 years. I think I've checked my invoice twice. Is that careless? I don't know. I don't have the time to go and check, 50 invoices, across all platforms and see exactly what's going on. If I see an anomaly, if I see a high bill, I'll go ahead and investigate it. But when it comes to the FedEx stuff, I've heard it more than once. Well, here's the thing, guys. If you screw up on a package, they can charge you $350 in fees for one mistake. Now, the thing when I said that it was very, very broad, they also included a statement that said a mispacked item or a poorly packed item. So if your item isn't packed correctly and, let's say, causes damage to other items around that item, you can get penalized for that. In the same way that you can incur fees and fines for leaked liquids with USPS, but this time they have direct access to your account, meaning that if you have an authorized eBay account, and eBay even sent the email out to everyone today to let them know, you could be liable for the cost on that too. You could be facing a $350 fine that is non-disputable, coming directly out of your account. So be very, very careful when you're using FedEx. Now, I want to talk on one topic and one topic in specific, just so that you can see how detailed this is. We're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about two. And the reason we're going to be talking about two is because the handbook, the guidebook for selling and shipping via FedEx is 152 pages long. Now, I love you guys, and I appreciate what you do and giving me the opportunity to do this for a living. I am not going to read through a 152-page guidebook. Not going to happen. So what I'm going to say, though, is I want you to reference that book when you are using FedEx and you are shipping something that you might deem as being questionable, or even if it's something you're not sure about, because the guidelines are so detailed, it's important to understand what you're doing. Now, there is a great table of contents to be able to help you along, and I'm not even going to give you great cliff notes tonight, but I'm just going to be explaining some of the details regarding it. Now, I do want to let you guys know I've thrown you a bone. If you go to our Facebook group tonight at 6 p.m., the show will still be airing, but at 6 p.m. I have a scheduled post to go up that's going to contain the entire guidebook for your reference. Okay, and that's going to be provided at no cost to you, so that way you can follow along and see what's going on. And I believe you can even request a physical print one from Fedex if you would like to have a guidebook on your workstation for quicker reference. So we're going to talk about batteries. Okay, that's one of the things I see a lot of people get wrong when it comes to shipping. So many people ship batteries first class on USPS, it blows my mind. Okay, now I'm sure there's some fine exceptions, but you're not supposed to send batteries in the air, guys, okay? Some of these batteries, especially cell phone batteries, are supposed to be shipped ground because they can explode, okay? Be mindful of what you're doing. You can be suspended from shipping packages if you get caught, okay? And then I even know somebody who's currently being sued right now and being investigated for shipping a decanter of alcohol that had that amount of alcohol in the bottom of it, but it managed to leak through, and they are trying to get him on trafficking alcohol. And it blows my mind. So be very mindful of what you're doing, because you can get a criminal investigation if you're not careful, or if you break the law, or you endanger someone's life, or you endanger a plane. You have to be mindful of what you're doing. Sometimes we can talk about eBay and we can talk about Amazon. We can say, hey, it's fun and games. Let's go make some money. Check out the cool things I got. And then there's other times where if you're not careful, you can end up in jail. Okay? And that's why we have to have some of these talks. So when it comes to batteries, this was an interesting one that I learned about. And we're talking about FedEx again still. They said the terminals must be protected against short circuiting, which I found to be interesting. Basically wrapping your terminals so they're not going to be bumping against other metals and causing a short, causing a spark, causing what could end up turning into flames, especially if you have something rattling back and forth, creating multiple sparks. Very, very smart thinking. It said must be packed in non-conductive materials separate from the unit. Again, it's a little extra step, but FedEx has the right to inspect a package that they have concerns about. Imagine, okay, you sent something FedEx, and for some reason, you didn't watch this show, okay? And you sent out, I don't know, a cell phone, or you sent out a little Tiger handheld, and they felt they had a reason to inspect your package. They open it up, and your batteries aren't separated, and they aren't wrapped protectively apart from the component, and you get hit with a $350 fine. Okay, there's a lot of people that are going to get this email and they're just going to gloss over it. They're going to throw it to the side and they're not going to think anything of it. Okay, but those who care about you and your business, and I don't even know if I can say those, I don't know how many other people are talking about this right now, are bringing this to you because it's very, very important that you know this is a domestic seller, especially if you're going to be using FedEx. Top of that, they must not be damaged or defective in any way. Okay, if a battery is deemed as defective, that is enough grounds to be hit with the fee. Certain batteries require package markings, and some oversized power batteries are fully restricted. You can't ship a Tesla battery. It's too darn big. Okay, these big hunkin' batteries, or these big battery packs, depending on the amount of milliamps, the amount of amperage or volts that the device or unit is carrying, have restrictions on them as well. And this is just batteries we're talking about. Now, when we talk about further as far as restrictions, anything that can be deemed as being hazardous waste, anything, now here's an important one, anything that can be considered an inhalation hazard, okay? Think of all the things you have in your house right now that are dangerous if inhaled, okay? Any of those substances, anything that you work with inside the garage that can be considered flammable or inhalation risk, certain glues could be considered inhalation risk. Fireworks is on the list, which is a no-brainer. Don't ship fireworks. And then any type of biohazards. So we're talking blood samples, urine samples, stuff like that. There's restrictions on those. So even if you have a doctor, I know people who have doctors out of state and they have to send these samples out. Even if your doctor sends you a prepaid FedEx box, ask yourself, okay, is this legal for me to ship? Or not legal? Is this something that I can ship and make sure that I can't get in legal trouble? I can't be prosecuted for causing undue risk or potential harm to other human beings. Okay, so like I said, that post is going to be available at 6 p.m. on the page. Make sure you check it out. A lot of information in there for you as well. Let me see. Tons of hairspray. Never again, never again. Yes, so onions are awesome, but how are they pertinent to shipping? Yeah, just be mindful of your shipping, guys. Be mindful of your shipping. What are we talking about next? What do we got here? Oh, yeah. this is an important one to talk about. I think we got 2 slides here. Yeah, so this first slide here, we're looking at Amazon's website in India, okay? And then the next one, we're looking at Amazon's site. I want to say, sorry, my window is so tiny. I want to make sure I get this right. I have a lot of things that I'm monitoring. Let me. I'm even going to make this bigger because I'm having a hard time seeing it myself, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like for you guys. So let's just blow this up really quick. This is the Indian one, okay? So Indian Amazon, and then this is the American Amazon. Nope, I'm wrong. India, that's America. That's America right there. Okay, so nope, I'm wrong. They're both India. They are both India. What am I talking about, guys? I have no clue what I'm doing. Is that one America? No clue, guys. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about Amazon, and we're going to be talking about Amazon's presence in India. Now, the reason why this is important, okay, is because the Indian market is a very much so an emerging market. Now, Amazon came to India back in 1998, and they went ahead and bought a company called Junglee. Okay, now Junglee was a company that ended up getting relaunched in 2012 and then ultimately closed down in 2017. Now the site is still active, but what the site does now is it redirects traffic to Amazon's India site. Now the reason we're talking about them, one, because they're an emerging market, and two, because there's more laws that continue to change in India. Now, India has very firm regulations regarding what selling platforms can do within their country. They've set it up and they've said, if you own the selling platform, you cannot personally sell product on the site. I want you to think about all the Amazon Basics products and the entire lineup of products that Amazon owns, clothing brands, textile brands, home goods. Think about the Amazon the Alexa device. I don't want to say that too loud for those of you who own one. Think about all these first-party items that Amazon actually owns and they have within the home, and they're not going to be able to sell them on their platform. Now, they knew that something like this was going to be happening, but it was a massive death blow to Amazon and their bottom line because they were finally making traction over the company Flipkart in the area, which has for a long time now been the biggest leader for e-com in India. Now, February 1st, India made another change because Amazon wasn't stupid. You know what Amazon started doing? They started buying up other companies. Other companies in India. They started buying them and then having those companies host the items on the actual website themselves, which I thought was a brilliant idea. I'm like, this is a fantastic workaround, but you know, here in America, we call that antitrust, and the same thing happened in India, and India stepped in on the 1st of February and said, hey, stop doing this, okay? We can tell you're circumventing the law. We can tell something's happening. Now, those of you who don't follow world events and you guys who aren't very very concerned about certain countries, developing countries, and where they're at, India is a fantastic emerging market for sellers like ourselves. Why? Because we have people coming to the internet for the very first time in India right now. You're seeing, even with YouTube, okay, we're seeing the Indian market emerging like crazy. There's a brand called T-Series, which is a music brand in India, which launched on YouTube about 1.5 or 2 years ago, give or take. And in that time, they had over 1 billion, I think, 100 million? 100 million? I'm a little, hold on, let me double check. I think it's 100 million, excuse me. 100 million people subscribed to that channel over the course of 1.5 or 2 year time. And that just kind of shows you just how many new people are coming to the internet for the very first time and the power of the spread of this type of information and influence to other people within the area. So if you've never really thought about the value of the Indian market, now would be a great time to start thinking of it because it's not being tapped to its fullest potential by the international market. Now, when we think about India as a whole, I don't know if everyone fully understands how big the market is. India currently has 1.3 billion people living in the country. And that's comparative to the world, which is 7.6 billion people. So we literally have more than the entire total of active Amazon and eBay users coming to the platform or coming to the internet for the very first time. Now, this in its own right is most likely enough to offset any type of downward trend we've seen with e-com for the average seller. And I really must stress the importance of this. I am going to be making active leaps and strides to try and make my listings more compatible for first-time Indian users to the platform. I'm not saying I'm going to, go as far as adding additional language, but I'm going to see what I can do to increase my visibility for them, or possibly adding some additional translated text to my listings to try and make my listings either rank better within India or Google India, or to rank better within eBay from people who are looking at it from other countries, as well as looking into international shipping options using OneRate via Pirate Ship to make my listings more visible to Indian consumers as well. I personally am banking heavily on India being the difference between me getting that, I'd probably say that 10 to 30% worth of sales back that a lot of the average sellers have been seeing slip off over the last 12 months or so. Okay, so I want you to give that some consideration as well with your brand and your business moving forward. What can you do to make it more visible and more enticing to the Indian market? Will you consider doing something like that? I'm excited about the prospect of it, so consider doing it as well. And then I had the images up here. It's really interesting to see the difference when you go to the Amazon India site. One of the biggest differences that I noticed right off the bat was there was almost no talk about Father's Day. Okay, they just don't talk about it on their site. And then here in the States, that's almost all you see on their site right now is people talking about Father's Day. It's interesting. Go check out the site. See what you can do to make your listings a little more appealing. Give it some consideration. What are your guys' thoughts? I'd love some feedback back on that. Now, up last, okay, is Amazon. They got a wave of bans going on right now. We've talked about this a little bit before. It's a little bit crazy exactly what's going on. But the number one takeaway that you need to know is that it predominantly has to do with UPC issues. So if you have been buying your own UPCs, and we've talked about this before, we've talked about Amazon, UPCbarcodes.com is one of our previous sponsors, but if you've been buying your UPCs elsewhere, or you've been stealing UPCs, okay, maybe looking at items that have UPCs and you punch them in and they're not on Amazon, you say, I'm just going to go ahead and use this UPC because I need a UPC. Or if you've loaded multiple items up under the same UPC on Amazon because you didn't want to buy another UPC, or if you have an Amazon UPC that does not match the correct item, even though that's already within the catalog, that's most likely why you've been banned. Now, if you haven't taken the time, I gotta recommend, it's time to do an audit on your stores. This is a great time to do it. We're not just talking eBay, and we're talking Amazon, we're talking Prairie Grit, we're talking wherever you sell. Consider doing a full audit. Now, a full audit is multiple steps. First step is validating your listings. Okay? That means that if you are an Amazon seller, you should go through and you should make sure that your UPCs are accurate and correctly reflect the item. Now, even if you've done this previously, okay, it's important to understand that there's Chinese hijackers who are stealing UPCs and listings for the value of their reviews. So let's say I have reviews up and I've got this beautiful pink cup and I've sold, 10,000 of these bad boys. And I've got 1,000 ratings. It's a 4.8 review. And then here comes a Chinese seller who has an item that has nothing to do with this. It's coming along with stylus pens, okay? And I do say Chinese sellers, and I don't want anyone to take offense to this because that's exactly who it is. It's been verified. We know the problem. It's something that we've talked about for years. They call them ASIN hijackers. And they'll start selling their stupid pens under your barcode. And they will say it's the same item. They will add their own images. Why? So that way they can steal your reviews. Now, the thing is, they can sell them at such a feverish rate that they can actually squeeze your own item out of the ASIN. So it's important to go through and make sure that your UPCs and your ASINs are well protected on Amazon. If you haven't, okay, then you're going to want to make sure that you get that done promptly. Hello, Tia Lee. You are not live right now. I think you're running a little bit behind, so make sure you click that live button underneath of the playhead. And also make sure you select 1080p as well. Thanks for tuning in tonight as well. So I want you guys to take the time to go through and verify all of your listings. I know it's a headache. Now, there's 2 other steps to it as well. In the mid-year, right now is a great time to get it done. You don't want to wait until the end of the year when the holidays are coming through, and we have a 2-stage inventory check. Okay, the first one is that all of the items that you believe are online right now are actually online. Okay, what does that mean? You actually go through and you look at your warehouse and you look at all of your items and you check that the listing is actually online. So you walk through your warehouse, okay, such and such item, check the computer, okay, it's active. Next item, check the computer, active, and quantity, oh, quantity was off, correct the quantity. Oh, I found an item, it's not active. For some reason, maybe the item expired after 30 days and you didn't think about it. Maybe, you had an issue where somebody returned an item and you forgot to get it relisted as well. Put all those items to one side and then focus on getting those relisted when you get an opportunity. And then the other direction, that everything that your computer says is actually active, that you can actually find in your warehouse. You do the time to do the cross-reference and make sure that the item is available inside of your warehouse as well. Every now and then you're going to stumble across something that's sold and for some reason eBay still has it online. It's very unfortunate when that does happen. Lisa says you are accountable, or your accountant will love you for doing a physical inventory check. Yep, it's very important. Do those inventory checks. Last time I did an inventory check, I found over $4,000 worth of inventory that was not active. And it was my first time doing an inventory check in roughly 3 years. And I was shocked with the amount of items that were just magically delisted by eBay because that is something that they do. Now, guys, I'm going to ask you for a small favor. If you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and click that like button. Why is my things just are not working properly today, guys? I don't know what's going on. Let's try this again. I don't get it. They might all come on screen right now. I have no clue. There we go. If you haven't done so, guys, please click the like button. We got some haters in the crowd tonight. And also, if you haven't done so, please click that like or that subscribe button. We can always use more subscribers to our channel. So, guys, make sure you also avoid bad bundles. Okay, if you're seeing people using bundled listings that aren't supposed to be done that way, make sure you get them done correctly. Those of you who are curious what an ASIN stands for, it's an Amazon Standard Identification Number. Also be mindful of variations. Okay, so a variation can be anything from a particular color on a garment, a particular size on a garment. Make sure your variations are correct. Okay, now the important thing to understand too is that when you are bundling items, you cannot bundle different models, you cannot bundle different styles, different brands, all in the same listing. It's not like eBay where you can just build a pile of garbage and then list it online and think it's okay. You must follow the guidelines. If you are lazy and you say, I'm not going to find the correct catalog listing, I'm not going to make my own catalog listing, I'm not going to make it right, I'm just going to make a bundle because I want to get out of there, that's not okay. You can't say, I want to sell this stupid combination of eye drops and chapstick. And, oh yeah, it's an eye drop chapstick bundle. It's not okay. You have to find the correct listing for this and the correct listing for this. If this doesn't exist, you go make it. Okay? So doing that type of stuff is a fantastic way to get your account dinged and even permanently suspended. So it's important that you take the time to do that. I think somebody got upset when I said Asian hijackers or Chinese hijackers. Guys, I want to let you know something too. I'm almost half Chinese. I am 3/8 Chinese myself. Okay, so if anyone has, the agency to be able to talk ill of, some of the business things that the Chinese people are doing, I think I might be one of the best authorities online to be able to have that talk. Hello to you, Amy Blackwell. Thank you for taking the time to be down here. Let me see. Let's see what we got going on. We got some comments in here. Good grief. Do you know what you're telling me to do? You have no idea of my disorganized mess. And here's the thing. Okay, Pat, I know how frustrating the idea of going through your inventory and verifying everything is. The first time I had to do it, I hired somebody. They were on site with me for 6 days straight, 8 hours per day to get it done. It took 2 of us a total of almost 50 hours to get the job complete. But keep in mind, okay, items that are on your shelf that are not visible on eBay are taking up space and in turn costing you money. The value of those items, it could be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. What would you do with an extra $4,000 worth of equity to go buy more goods right now, or to invest into a short-term or long-term holding? There's a lot of different things that you can do with your business that extra money could be really, really beneficial for you in accomplishing. Let's see, Brandy, can we pair up? I would love to do inventory, but not on my own. I will gladly do inventory for somebody else. I'll be happy to help anyone who needs help. And I do go outbound as well if somebody needs it. And yeah, my inventory situation, it's not bad right now. I restarted the organization process because of KLC's encouraging me along. I watched her video, and it's very rare when I watch somebody's video and it kind of inspires me to do more with my space. But I completely rearranged my warehouse space as far as the pack and ship station, and I'm going through and I'm correctly organizing my inventory, because when I moved here, you know, when you move into a new house, what do you want to do? You just want to get everything unpacked as quickly as possible. Just get it up and out of the boxes. We've already had to go through and redo the kitchen because the kitchen, the storage space, the closets and cabinetry is so small that I've had to redo it twice now. But everything fits now. And then as far as the pack and ship station, I just kind of tossed it together, and it looked great. People love the look of it. But now not only does it look great, it's exceptionally functional. I'm going through and I'm doing the same process with my inventory because I've reduced the number of shelves that I have by 5. So I know I'm going to have to pack things tighter and taller to be able to accommodate the same 1,000 items that I would like to have on my store. Now, 1,000 items is a number that's comfortable for me. I know some people that have 10,000 items. Blows my mind, and other people who are happy having 100 items. Do your store however you like, but I know with 1,000 items active, I usually get 5 to 10 sales per day, which means I usually earn anywhere between, on the low end, $80 to the high end of $300 per day, which is a comfortable amount of earnings for me. I can't complain with that. Let me look at some of the rest of these comments here. I'm totally not scared. I work in retail and inventory is fun. I have mental issues. Taxes are fun. Inventory is fun. Yeah, and yeah, Brandy, I understand the inventory process. It can be a headache, but give it your best go. It's not as intimidating as you think it is, but there's certain ways to manage it to make sure that you do it correctly. And on top of that, with the rise in fees that we see coming, with the rise in shipping costs, it's a fantastic time to remove items that are no longer going to make you money. Remember, each item costs you, on average, 25 to 35 cents per month. Okay, if you have an item active for a year, it's costing you, $3.50 up to $4.50 per year to be there. If the item's only $12, you've already lost money if it's been online for a year after you ship the bad boy out. So just be mindful of that moving forward with your store, with your inventory. I hope you guys appreciated that explanation regarding Amazon. That's pretty much all of our news for tonight. I just wanted to churn through the news. There wasn't anything too heavy that happened this week, but there's just some important things to make sure that you know. Lisa says, saves you time too, makes it easier to find things. 100% agree. There's nothing worse than selling something and spending more time finding it than the value of the item. Key Webco says, I had 6,000 and a huge warehouse, but now I'm cutting it all out and have 100, have 400 now. That's great. Roger, thanks for tuning into the show as well. Yeah, cool. Guys, I hope you enjoy the very casual cavalier attitude for tonight's show. We're keeping it simple tonight, guys. Guys, I got some pickups. I got a lot of items. I don't even know where to start with tonight's pickups. It's so much stuff. And please do not forget, this is a live Q&A. If you have any questions regarding any of our news stories, if you have any practical training questions, anything like that you would like to know, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'll do everything in my power to make sure that we get an answer for you. Guys, I'm going to, I guess we'll start with the books. Those of you who did not watch my stream, when I went to the swap meet, I haven't even taken them out of the bag yet. Don't call me lazy, call me busy. That is a satisfying zip. It's like some stock audio zips right there. So I did not look any of this up when I was at the swap meet because I got such an incredible price. And you guys got to watch the art of the negotiation. Now, I've got extra details about that negotiation that you did not see on camera, which I learned after the fact. What is that? That is that Daniel attempted to buy this stuff before me. And when Daniel went there, these books right here were a whopping $2 to $3 each. What are these? These are Eerie Magazine by Warren, and we have several issues of this magazine. And, you know, it goes without saying that the artwork is what really got my attention. You know, I love just weird and mysterious artwork, the sci-fi era style artwork. You know, anything that's towards the pinup type genre. You know, things that are just different. I wish that these were in a little bit better condition. Man, look at this artwork. And you guys get to see this artwork in high resolution for the first time ever. Now, are you guys noticing a difference on the quality of the images in HD? Is this stuff coming through a lot sharper for you than last week? Oh, we got Allie in the chat. Hello for dropping in. Pat says, I have yet to have any negative feedback. My stores have been open on eBay since '04. 100% positive feedback. I can find my items and I'm properly stocked, and I use the bend method. Pat, you're a rock star, okay? You are breaking the mold. I got 2 negative feedbacks this month alone. Amy, thank you for the compliment on the shirt. I do appreciate it. You got it. Hey, Jay. Hey, Allie. So yeah, we got these really gorgeous Eerie magazines in fair condition. Now, like I said, I did not look these up. She wanted $2 to $3 a piece with Daniel. Because I was doing a bundle deal, I got a much better deal than that. It first started out with these right here, which are some old, I believe these are, what do you call them? Like tabletop board game Dungeon and Dragon style experiences. This one really caught my eye. When I saw this Disney-esque font, I was really interested in this immediately. Yeah, but I picked this up and I said, how much can I just buy the entire stack for? And we did a little bit of negotiation. I believe she wanted, I want to say like $18, and I got it down to 15. And then I added in the Eerie, and I added in the book, and I added in 2 toys, and I was able to get everything for 25. So all the items that we're going to be looking at, this is so beautiful. Look at that. God, I love stuff like this. And you guys know me. I don't really, I don't gush too hard over inventory. Every now and then something will really catch my eye, and this is one of those days. I'm going to have a hard time separating myself from some of these items, but you know, it's going to boil down to the value. So as I said, I haven't looked any of these up. I'm going to show you the other items that I got. I picked this up as well. Again, the artwork really caught my eye, got my attention, something that I wanted to go after. Roger's telling me that I'm making a fortune. Roger said that this is going to single-handedly cover my eBay Open trip, right? Right? I may have lost the other elements to this buy, which would be grossly disappointing. I also had a little robot, and I also had a pennant. I can see the pennant over there. We're going to show the robot later as long as we have time for it. We're going to look up a couple of these together right now. I'm going to be utilizing the Amazon Scan app. This book does not have a barcode on the front or the back, so we're just going to scan the face of it. If you guys haven't used the Amazon Seller app, I strongly recommend it. Really? I just got a comment in right now telling me that I forgot to include Adam Thompson in the Patreon list. Let me check this out really quick. I don't ever want to leave anyone out, especially somebody who has helped us out. Let me check my Patreon image really quick, okay? And if I did, I am terribly sorry. Let's bring this back around again, okay? We don't have, how do we not have Adam in there? Let me check something really quick, guys. I'm terribly sorry. I want to make sure that I'm not forgetting anyone at all. And Pam, do you know off the top of your head when he signed up for our Patreon? We got 2 notifications. Give me 1 second, guys. We're going to see what this computer's capable of doing. Oh, it is chugging. It does not like me checking out Patreon right now. Let me check really quick, guys. I got some notifications pulling up. It might be quicker just to do it on the other one. Oh, we actually lost a patron, gained a patron. Yeah, Adam did come on May 26th. Adam, I am terribly sorry about that. My sincere apologies. We'll make sure that we get you added to that. I could have sworn I had put you in there. Yeah, I'm so sorry, buddy. We get so slammed with so many different projects around here. But thank you to Adam as well. I'm pretty certain we gave him a thank you on our previous show from last week. But you should be in the outro. If you're not in the outro, again, I apologize. We will 100% get that sorted out by as quick as we can get that sorted out. Let's go ahead and check these items really quick. We're going to, again, like I said, just scan the face on this one. This is a book club edition of the book. I didn't look it up. It's only worth $3, but I really, really love the artwork on it. We're going to scan some of these different items here. Now, some of these have a low sticker price on them. Oh yeah, that's cool. So this one has a new price at $30, but the rank is pretty horrendous. It's got a 3 million rank on it, so that's probably never going to sell. But like I said, the price point that I got these for is just so darn cheap. This one right here. Now, some of these can possibly go as new, but a majority of these are going to be used, though. Not much on that one either. But like I said, these were so darn cheap to be able to get the quantity buy on them. And then I know the Eerie comics, I'm going to do really, really well on those, too. Ooh. Let's check this one out. The Incredible Moving Picture Book. I have never seen anything like that before. I'm curious what the contents look like. Surprisingly cheap as well. Oh, okay. It's one of these. I'll show you. I'm being greedy right now. Let me show you. So this is using a lenticular slide, moving very. It's going to be hard for the camera to pick this up, but what I'm doing is I'm pressing down on this slide, and it's supposed to create a motion. But the camera itself is going to have a really hard time catching that motion. Yeah, I'll upload a video to the Facebook group later on to be able to better illustrate exactly what this book is for. Okay, let's get these out the way. Actually, let me see what I can do really quick. Let me see if my computer wants to cooperate. So guys, if anyone has any questions for me, now would be a great time to ask them. I'm gonna try and pull this up and get this corrected really quick, because I do feel bad about that. And it should only take about 30 seconds to fix. One moment, guys. Let's take a look at our next item while that's downloading. I picked this up for me. I was really pleased about getting this as well. And I'm already losing bits. This is a lens cleaning kit, and this is something that I actually needed because of the new camera that I'm operating with right now. And this has multiple individual brushes inside of it for cleaning the camera. I have no clue what this kit is worth, but this is something that I actually need. If I had to take a guess, I'd probably say it's going to be a minimum of a tenner, possibly even more. Let's find out so that way you guys all know we're all on the same page. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to minimize some of these windows. My PC is working a little bit too hard. Go to downloads. Give me 1 second, guys. Replace. Let me see if this fixed it. Yep, there we go. There you are, Adam. We got you sorted out. Let me see what this item's worth really quick. Anyone get anything crazy this week? Anything really exciting? Apparently it's not on Amazon. And we do have some really interesting items on the way as well. A lot of fluids, fluids for the cleaning kit. Not seeing this exact one yet. There's a similar one. It looks like it's about a $20 kit from what I'm seeing. Not bad. I paid $1 for it. Like I said, though, I'm actually going to use this bad boy. This is something that I need, especially with the direction that we're moving forward with everything. Man, where is the air right now? It's turning into a little bit of an oven in here, so I'm going to ask Daniel to turn the air up really, really quick. Okay, guys. So this is something that Miguel's really going to enjoy. I'm not sure if he's in. He has a tendency to miss some of these live shows. What we're going to be looking at next, we got some eyeglass cases. Now, I usually don't go after these just because there is a lot of counterfeits, but the way that I found these ones together really led me to believe that they are authentic. We've got one Juicy Couture one right here. I think we picked up... There's the AC, thank God. We picked up 2 of the Polo Ralph Lauren ones, and again, really, really good condition. Really leads me to believe that they're authentic. We got one of the rounder ones as well. And now, I was at this fantastic block sale. I was not expecting to come across a block sale this week. I was just cruising down the street, and I saw a really obnoxious array of signs. It was for some real estate development area, and there was about 7 or 8 signs all pointing in one direction, and I just thought that's kind of stupid, but whatever. And I cruise down the street, and then I see another one of these yard sale signs pointing another way, and I go down that street, and then there's nothing. There's just no signs beyond that, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And then I cruise further into the neighborhood, and I get around the corner, and there's like 4 yard sales on one street. I'm like, what the heck? And then I start hitting these yard sales, and I'm getting ready to like exit the neighborhood, and then I go around the corner, and there's like 3 more yard sales. I was blown away. I must have gone to 40 yard sales on Saturday, and I usually work from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, but I went ahead and worked until about 12:15, 12:30. The yard sales were set to run from 8 to 12, but some people stayed out there later. So I got to go through and see some incredible items, talk with so many people, have such a fun time while I was out there. Also got this Lacoste one. This one I think might be the most valuable one of the bunch, but they're all incredibly tidy, clean. They feel the part. They don't feel cheap. I really do believe they're all authentic. Oh yeah, that's another thing, guys. You guys remember how we would have trouble with the zoom and the focus when I was showing you items? And remember how the colors would constantly shift from cool to warm colors with the background? The new camera that we're on is completely preventing that now. So those of you who are wondering, it's not just an upgrade as far as software is concerned. We are on brand new gear right now to be able to make this all happen. And the camera and setup itself, it was like $800 to be able to pull it off. But this is the same exact camera that we're going to be using for eBay Open, and I found it very, very important to get a multifunction one. So you're probably wondering, Jay, how much did I pay for these? The lady wanted 50 cents a piece for them, and I said, could I give you a quarter a pop if I take 4? And she said, sure. Last time I checked, these are about $10, $15 a pop. There might be one that's an anomaly that's going to be a hair higher or lower, but every single glasses case that I've ever gotten, I've sold. So I have no problem picking these up, and they take up almost no space. This is going to be $40 or $50 worth of revenue for me. Like I said, very tiny, very easy to move these items. See what else we got. So at this yard sale event, there wasn't too many crazy pieces, but there was 1 or 2 things that really took me back. Now, I took the guy at face value when he told me what this was, but I'm not 100% sure. He was telling me that this is a knife rest, okay? And it's really high quality. It has that crystal look, and then this one looks even better. He was saying that these were both knife rest. Let me bring this into the camera so you guys can get a better look at it. Yeah. Wow, look how sharp that is on the camera. We could never have done this before. This is amazing. This is the power of upgrades, guys. Wow, that looks great. So, yeah, crystal knife rest. That's what Mindy is saying. So I'm 100% going to believe her on that. Great little pieces. I paid $1 each for these. Not exactly sure what they're worth. Again, this was part of a bundle deal, so I was all right pulling the trigger on them. I'm sure I can break even or turn $1. If I don't, then lesson learned. They're beautiful. I'll sell them at a yard sale for $1. The real big haul, the best item that I got from the entire yard sale, which I may even keep or sell for a more modern version. This is Velbron Macro Slider with the original box. It appears unused. Okay, so those of you who don't know what a slider is, it's for doing camera work. Okay, and he had an ask price of $10 on there. I ultimately paid $5 plus $2 on the crystal pieces. This is it right here. I don't really want to take it too much further out of the box right now, but what it allows you to do, it allows you to hook a camera up to a slide and then be able to bring the camera straight across. And I know that seems stupid, okay, to be able to do that, but if you've ever seen those really clean precision slide shots in commercials and video productions, like for me, when I go to eBay Open, they're going to have that giant eBay Open sign, and a lot of people are going to take this dead-on video, or they're going to take a video where they're holding their camcorder or their cell phone, they're going to shoot it that way, or they're going to take a single still. But having footage with movement and being able to drag that across, and at the same time, not only can you drag, but you can pan as you drag, and you can get these really dynamic, really beautiful shots that you couldn't do otherwise. This unit, in this condition, I comfortably believe I can get at least $100 for. And you're going to see some comps that are a little bit more varied, but I've really been pushing the bill lately as far as what I list my stuff for. Do you remember that purple iPod Shuffle that I had? And I said, we're looking at anywhere between $40 to $50 for that. I ultimately ended up listing that for $60 because I was able to clean it and it looked so beautiful in the photo. I said, someone's going to look at that, see that it was well taken care of, and that it's a conscientious seller, and I'm going to get max value plus on that. It sold within 24 hours for $59.99. The same exact thing is true here. The cardboard on this is crisp and firm, and there's no wear. This thing has never had anything stacked on top of it. I will get maximum value. It could even be as high as $150. So I must stress this. If your comps that you're working with look nothing like yours, don't be afraid to push the bill. Even if there is no sales history to justify the price you are asking, if you believe that the market is there and you can convince somebody that your item is worth that amount, either through photos, through staging, through your text, your descriptions, do it. Okay, I will get a record-breaking number for this item, and the only reason I would sell this is that modern slider technology is not only lighter, but it's also electronic now. You can get them with carrying cases and everything, and it has more dynamic range than what this can do on its own. This is going to go to somebody who is seasoned, a classic photographer, doing video with a DSLR camera. It's not necessarily something that somebody with a camcorder may use. Somebody who owns this already who's going to want another one of the exact same piece. That's where this bad boy is going to go. I don't really fit that profile, so my money might be better spent selling this and getting something a little more appropriate for me. Just so you guys know where we are equipment-wise, the last things that we need to do is we need to make sure that we are good as far as data management is concerned, and lighting, and then we just need a few other small components. We need a carry-around mic that we can be able to use. Just the last few little things to be able to make the entire operation work correctly. We got a bunch of comments in. Tracy just sold some of those crystal knife rests on her last sales update video. Fantastic. The heat can break down your plastic tubs. 100% it can, especially here in California. Where people are talking about tubs in the comments. Those of you who are watching the replays later, I really got to encourage you to come on down. We have a good time, minus the few moments that I have to stop and check my phone and make sure everything's okay. And no one's losing their mind. Can you check? And then when I have to tell Daniel to turn the air up even more because it's toasty. We have a really, really crummy thermostat that doesn't give us a lot of flexibility with as far as temperatures are concerned. Oh man, I actually have to go through the process of insulating my warehouse for this summer because it's going to get too hot in there. I was just thinking about a meltable item that I have right now and whether or not I pulled it out of the car. Let's take a look at some more stuff. This came from the yard sale. I'm very pleased about this. This is a copy of Say Anything sealed in the shrink. I said, hey, how much you want for this? He's like, I don't know, like $10? I'm like, nope. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to sound rude. I'm like, it's just a little too rich for me. He's a 13-year-old kid with a doggo in his hand. Super cute doggo. Black lab. And he's like, well, we paid like $20 for it. How about like $5? I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I really can't do that. It's just too rich for me. And then I ended up buying this really cute puzzle off of him. And again, this is in the shrink. And you guys will notice I will consistently find these. I don't know what it is about this market. They just don't care about puzzles. So, hey, let me check the barcode. I didn't even scan this thing. It has a Bass Pro Shop sticker of $17.99. If I'm looking it up on Amazon right now, $22.99, gross proceeds $13.29. So this may be an eBay play, but probably just going to go straight out to Amazon. Most likely reduce down a few dollars to ensure that it gets out the door. But I bought this off him for $1. Now, because we were at the block sale, and there was all kinds of different things, I said, hey, do you mind if I leave my car here? I'm going to go walk around, check out the other yard sales. And then when I came back, I said, hey, bud, I'm like, I don't want to insult you. Would you take $2 on that board game? And this is after I'd done a little more rapport building. I talked with the father about this big robot that he had, and we had a moment. He's like, yeah, man, go ahead. I'll sell it to you for $2. So I'm pleased to buy this for $2. This sells for about $18 on eBay. Good profit margins after fees and everything. I believe it was about $11.80. So I still stand to make a handful of bucks. And I know some of you guys are thinking, like, Jay, is it even worth it, all the trouble just to make $10, yada, yada, yada. Well, when I send in my boxes, I make $10 a minimum, up to $40 on average per item, 30 times over per box. So my boxes are worth anywhere between $300 and $1,200 for each one that goes in, and they usually only cost me anywhere between $30 to $70 each to buy everything that gets sent out to the warehouse. I am very, very frugal with my buys, and that's why I've said before, I may make less money, but my margins will be taller, and that's what really matters to me because it allows me to work less and make more. Lisa commented, the room is cool and has blinds pulled so the sun cannot damage my inventory. I just bought cheap totes from Walmart. I will replace them with better ones this summer. I hope you like my storytelling tone. It's just, it needed to happen. Let's see what else we got, guys. This is something, okay, I have sold quite a few of these, and I don't think I've ever seen these on anyone's BOLO list. These are inflatable collars for dogs. They range in size. This is one of the XL ones, and even in used condition, this is going to fetch anywhere between $15 to $20. I bought this for $1, and very pleased to buy it for that price. They sell often. They sell fast. People need these and they don't want to pay the veterinary price to get them because the vets are going to charge you $40 to $60 for the exact same thing. Or if you go to the pet store, you're going to pay $30 to $40 for the exact same thing. He said he paid, I can't remember what he said. Oh, he said the receipt's in the box. He paid, focus, $37.99 for this. Isn't that, look at that quality, guys. I'm sorry, I am blown away by this camera right now. The things that we can do now that we weren't able to do before, it makes me so flippin' happy. Yeah. So he paid a fortune for this, like I said. So the secondary market's great on him. That's going out to Amazon with some condition notes. There's a few marks on it as well. Return the collar, LOL, no fees. They have very strict return policies here in California, so I couldn't even do that if I wanted. Guys, it's so rare when I branch into Christmas stuff. When was the last time would I get those ornaments? What are they called? The twinkly, the starry. Mindy, you know what they're called. I can't remember. But I bought ornaments, and I didn't just buy this box right here of G50 15 ball light sets. Not bubbly lights. There's another name for those other lights. This is Kurt Adler brand bulbs. Okay. There is 15 inside of this box. I have about another 150 more bulbs downstairs, another 10 strands. I was not about ready to bring the tote upstairs. And those of you who are curious, every item that I sell on eBay, I have to not only lug inside the house, I have to carry up a flight of stairs to show you and then immediately carry it back down those same flights the next day. I wasn't going to bring a whole bin up. I walked up and I saw it, and if this wasn't here, if this box wasn't there with them, I wouldn't have been able to look it up and I wouldn't have given it any consideration. I don't think that this is the best buy for somebody who is just starting out on eBay. If you got only a handful of dollars to work with, you may not want to touch this. But now if you have time and you don't mind waiting and letting them marinate a little bit, this single box is probably worth about $20. But that's not how I want to sell it. I want to sell all of the strands together, and I want to get about $150, maybe $200 for all of the strands, which is an incredible value for somebody who needs them. I also have all the stakes that go with it as well, and I picked up another bin of assorted lights too that are brand new and baled that are going to be very easy to send into Amazon. I also did not bring those upstairs either. Just so you know, these are very large bulbs, and that's what really got my attention. Okay, look at the size of these. That's what really got my attention. They were very unique and very different comparative to the typical ones that I see. I will make a lot of money on them. It's just going to take time. If you are new to reselling, avoid super long tail stuff. If you have inventory space and you can get a great price, I bought all of these plus all of the other ones. Okay, probably about another 8 to 10 boxes worth of brand new bulbs, plus 2 plastic totes for $7. Okay, $7. Killer return on investment when they sell through. And if you're one of those skeptics who are like, Jay, that type of stuff is never going to sell, go join our Facebook group. I post up stupid items that sell all the time, every day. Every day without fail. I'm going to pull up a listing right now. I can actually show you my cell phone on screen right now without getting messed up. I sell stupid stuff that I do not expect to sell. And Pam, I'm asking regarding the message that you had sent me previously. I just sold this. This was on the show last week. And this was purchased for, I think, $2. This is the North Face sleeping bag that we talked about. And I tried my best to take some. Are we gonna cooperate? Okay. Yeah, this is the one that I was telling you guys about. I had to lay it on my couch to be able to even get decent photos. That sold in 24 hours for $50. Guys, I got a message regarding a $150 item. Is it possible you might be able to list each item so it is not what you are selling? All due respect, full kit is vague. He wants me to list out each and every component that's there with the item. Unfortunately, not. There is far too much to list out. Is there a specific piece you need verified as there? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to lay out. There's like 30 or 40 bits that go with this item. And it's it's a $170 item. Okay, it's the Thule roof rack that we had talked about before. I'll even show you guys some of the pictures with it. And, I did my best to document everything that was included with it. And, I don't go well out of my way. But I said the tool is there. There's another tool. There's a whole bag of components. And everything should be there. It shouldn't be an issue. But I'm not going to go to the extra effort. If you like what you see, get it. If you don't, we'll just have to move on to the next one. Okay. I just want to pull up and show you guys at least one more item that's sold recently that I thought was a bit of a dumb item. Here's another item from the show that you wouldn't really think would sell or even sell for a great price. This is a Pokemon. Sorry, let me get my face out of the way. This is a Pokemon cassette. A fantastic piece as well. We got a super chat in. Amy Blackwell. Thank you for everything, Jay. I'm new but learning. May we hear about the empty cases you sold? Thanks. You may. This is a fantastic story, and I don't know if I've ever told it on air before. So, the time was 2013. The GameCube craze was starting to make a head as collectors were trying to scoop up as much product as possible. The motivation for collectors was shifting from Super Nintendo and N64 to the next item that was available that was a little bit harder to counterfeit. And everyone wanted the best of the best. And when we're talking about the best of the best, we're not just talking about the condition of the disc. We're not just talking about the inclusion of a manual. We're talking about the case as well. The case is important for collectors, the cleanness of the plastic and the overall look. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Jay, just go get another case. It's not a big deal. There's plenty of cases out there. But the thing about GameCube games that separates them from other games, I don't think I have one here, is that unlike traditional DVD cases, GameCube games are half the size here on the inside, which means that they have a custom case that is significantly smaller. The color of the plastic is also a custom gray plastic. It's not something that you generally find in the wild, and also had a slot for a memory card across the top. Okay? Having a good condition case was difficult to come by, and it got to a point where I realized that there was a hole in the market for this specific item, that people were seeking these cases out. So what did I do? I went far and wide out of my way to try and find the cheapest cases I possibly could. What did I do? I bought over 5,000 GameCube games that were brand new. I bought Spawn Armageddon, I bought Dead to Rights, and I bought Ratatouille. These were the cheapest of cheap games that I could find, and I bought them directly from a wholesaler in bulk. I believe it was J&J Games that I may have worked with. No promise, though. A lot of different vendors out there. But I bought up the last of every single sealed brand new video game that I could for GameCube that was as cheap as I could. I paid roughly, I don't know, $2.70 up to $3.40 per unit. And I was buying brand new sealed games. I'll show you. I genuinely thought I had one up there. I do not have one up there. I can actually, I can show you what the case looks like, okay? So this is what a GameCube case looks like. You can see the memory card slot. So, what did I do? How did I make all my money, you ask? This is very interesting. When you are looking for a replacement item, something very specific like a replacement case, the mindset of the consumer isn't to go find a brand new video game and gut it for the case. No, no, no. You search for the case. You search for a replacement case. So what did I do? Well, as my video games came in, I would open them up, literally take the shrink wrap off, remove the game, remove the artwork, okay, leave in the hazard information, close it, take that, slip that inside of a protective sleeve, and then sell it as a brand new case. Sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, when I first started, I was selling them for $10.99 a pop. After I sold 100 within my first week, I realized I was onto something, and I gradually increased my price all the way up to the point where I was selling them for $18.99. And when I continued to sell them, and I had people buying them in massive quantities, some people buying 100 at a time, okay, at that price, I realized I am really onto something here. And then I continued to raise my prices until they ultimately reached the $24.99 price point. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jay, who in their right mind would pay that kind of money for that type of case? Well, somebody who has a game that could be worth $300, $400, up to $1,000. Replacing the outside and making it look beautiful again with a factory second, a factory original, can greatly increase the value of the item as a whole. So that's what people were doing. I ultimately landed on the $34.99 price before selling out of the last of my stock. I had sold maybe, 1,000 at that price. It was absolutely insane. But the jig was up at that point, okay? This market was such a competitive market that my competitors, unaware of what I had done and how I was getting my supply, do you know what they were doing? They were buying used cases in bulk and reskinning them. They were putting new plastic on the outside because they weren't smart enough to figure out exactly what I was doing and how I made it work. And I know it's crazy to think that an empty game, an empty case would sell for more, but I have the documented sales to prove it. It was the wildest ride ever. That That's how I made over $30,000 on empty GameCube cases. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. And if you don't believe me, you can go on my eBay store and you can see my hundreds of copies of Dead to Rights that I have available on my store right now. Nobody's bought them yet. Hopefully somebody will buy them. And it's because I have all that excess from when I had done it previously. It was a really, really great ride. And other people tried to do it too. And the biggest failure that I saw is when people bought sports games, thinking that that was going to work. But Madden, FIFA, the hockey games, they all put a little hologram seal on the front. And it was on the plastic. It wasn't on the shrink wrap. They are completely worthless to every single collector out there. That market is come and gone now. Okay, there's just not any more money in it at this point. Hope you enjoyed story time. Yeah. And Amy says collectors pay up. And Amy, thank you so much for that $5. I hope that was a good story for you. I hope you learned something valuable. And I want to let you know, I have other products currently that I am developing right now to be able to do the exact same thing. FL Adams says, Jay, did you go to battle this week with anyone about their YouTube video being lies or false? Yes, I did. And we will be talking about that towards the end of the show this week. So there's some spicy topics. And the reason why we're waiting till the end of the show to talk about that is because I don't think that the people who have it out for me are going to watch till the end of the show. I don't think they're going to make it. So we'll be talking about that at the end. If I forget, which I don't think I will, I have it in my notes, we will bring it up. I think we're going to look at a few more items today, and then we'll move on to final thoughts. If you guys have any Q&A, feel free to ask. And if you're looking for a passive income item that you can sit back and crank out massive profits on, I got a few more tricks up my sleeve, and I have a couple of projects where I wouldn't mind a hand as well if you're looking to make some bucks. You are my first super chat. Can't wait to see you at eBay Open. I can't wait to see you either. I hope I get to meet all of you. And the thing is, we haven't set up, I don't know how to go about it. I don't think I'm anything special, guys. I'm just some guy who talks about eBay. Okay, eBay, Amazon, selling online. I know a lot of you guys want to do like a meet and greet, and I just don't feel like I'm that special to do some type of meet and greet event. I would love to maybe be able to sit down and get dinner with everyone. I think that would be a great time if we all sat down. I know Miguel had made a suggestion for a restaurant. He said he really wants me to check it out, and if it's the type of restaurant where we could all sit down together and have a great meal, I would love to meet everyone who wants to be there, take a ton of photos, maybe shoot some video, maybe all go thrifting someplace, maybe all go to a swap meet together, have a little fun. So, we got another item, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on cassette. Yeah. These sell remarkably well. And I think it might be because there's no other like audiobook version via Audible or some other streaming service. I'll make a tenner on this. I paid 50 cents or a quarter for it. It was filthy cheap. Going straight to Amazon with that. I picked up this board game from a fellow reseller. It's a board game called Inspiration. The list price on it is a little bit nuts. There's two people asking $50. Doesn't have a barcode. Doesn't have a rank on Amazon. Doesn't even scan in, frankly. One completed listing around the $25 to $30 price point. The contents inside of here are brand new, which should help my case. We'll see. I don't have high expectations for this to sell anytime soon. This will be ultra long tail. Probably going to list it around the $44.99 unless my competitors have an oboe on their listing. Oh, you won't be there? That's unfortunate. Yeah, if you end up out in the Vegas area, definitely come say hi. Lisa says, I'm only coming for ASD, which is right after. ASD. I don't even know what that is. Yeah. Let's see. So every single yard sale that I go to, I ask the exact same question every single time I go. Do you guys know what that question is? And do you ask a question when you go to yard sales? Every single yard sale, I ask the question. You guys wouldn't happen to have any video game stuff, would you? And then here's the thing, okay? This is a very complex question because it boils down to interpretation. You might be asking a question like that, but you could be asking it completely wrong. See how I finished that question right there? That is the complete wrong way to ask that question. And I know there's people doing this that are asking it that way. You have to cover all of your bases, especially depending on the demographics that you're working with. You wouldn't happen to have any like video game stuff, would you? Like And this is where you continue on, like old Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, like any handheld stuff, even modern stuff. Do you have any of that stuff lying around? Maybe some of the old cassettes, cartridges? Now, I've covered a plethora of different phrases as well as slang. The Hispanic market out here uses the word cassettes interchangeably with cartridges. And I've used the word cartridges as well as saying I'm looking for old, looking for new, I'm looking for handheld, I'm looking for the stuff going to the TV, I'm looking for everything. Because in their head, okay, when you ask for video games, that can mean one thing, but if you can cover all of your bases, you have a higher chance of getting a yes. Now, I'll ask 100 yard sales before I get a yes, okay? But there's a lot of questions that I'll ask that work 1 in 100 times. So if I do enough of them, I'm going to have some level of success. This time I had some level of success. Is it great? No. Is it profit? Yeah, of course it's profit. Why would I show you anything that isn't profit? Okay, I picked up a Nintendo DS case, which contained 4 DS games across the top. The best one in here is Mario Kart DS. Let's be fancy together, guys. Look at this. Oh, yeah, look at that. So the best one in here is the Mario Kart DS, and then we're just going to leave that. Oh, my gosh. Okay, we're just going to pop these out because why not? And then behind here, we actually have a copy of Chicken Little, not worth anything, and a copy of Monsters with Finding Nemo. Then we have the console itself in fair condition. It's not the best condition, but it's certainly... The interior, though, the screens, you can see that very, very clean, almost completely scratch-free on those as well. Yeah, maybe fair plus. It's not bad at all. I picked up this whole thing together. Is that the right spot? That looks like the right spot. I picked up this whole thing together. Actually, let's go in a little tighter. There we go. I paid $10 for it. And I think it might have even been less than that with the whole bundle deal put together. I'm probably going to list it up local, maybe ask a solid $40 bill on it. I could probably get the same money online, but I'm going to have to pay fees and shipping, so I'd rather do it local. Let's see the comments. Dan, hey, thanks for making it in, buddy. Finally made it, was busy with the kids tonight. That is a great use of time, I'm not going to lie. And don't forget, you can always watch the replay, catch the entirety of the show if you missed any part of it. Crystal clear zooming. Yes, Adam. There we go. And Adam, are you the Adam that I forgot to add into the patron slide? I wasn't sure. So if you are, I'm sorry again. But it's been a nutty week. It's a little lot going on. CatCon, haven't seen you in here in forever. Thanks for dropping in as well. Speaking of which, speak of the devil, we got a Diamond Dots kit for making your own Diamond Dots cat. And this is brand new in the package as well. A super cute item, and you got to do this absolutely maddening process of adding all the dots on manually. I don't even know if I would be excited about doing this if I was locked in an asylum and I had nothing else to do. This looks ridiculous, but yeah, cool kit. It's worth about $20 online on Amazon. Again, same situation. You guys, I'm going to sound like a broken record some nights. Paid 50 cents to $1 for it. Going to get $20 on the back end. This is just the story of my life. If I'm lucky, I'll get something a little bit better. But consistently good, saleable items with decent ranks is my bread and butter. And I'm finally getting back into the swing of things where I'm, sourcing 50 items, listing 50 items, and then selling through, maybe 20 items a week. And that's because I'm rebuilding the store right now, and I'm going to see the sales increase over time. But in a perfect world, it'll be a 50-50-50 each and every week throughout. But I probably need to get to about 1,000 items online to be able to see that consistent 50-50-50. And don't be afraid to ask me each week, how much did I buy? How much did I list? How much did I sell? I'll be happy to let you know. And then let me see these comments here. Yes, it's that Adam. Adam, I'm sorry. I messed up. Check out our beautiful slide. I put your name on there, middle of the show, and I even got you in the correct place, too, because we try and order it by tenure, or sometimes we do. It's a little messed up. But, there you go. I appreciate you. Who else do we got here? And I do appreciate your presence. St. Petersburg, there we go. And we going to start a Jays group in Florida. Let's do it. And I do want to come out to Florida. Those of you who don't know, I will be doing a cross-country experience in time. the Patreon thing is such a struggle because it seems like, every time we get a new person on or we get a couple of people on, someone leaves. Like I just saw that Joe G left, and he's somebody that I know personally. We've had phone calls. I hang out with him in person when I'm in Fresno. It's a little bit saddening to see something like that happen, but people come and go, and I'm trying to, and this is another thing too that I haven't really talked about before, is I'm trying to do it in a way where I'm not charging a fortune just because I'm here. It should be reasonably priced. Anyone who's charging an absolute ton of money, like $600 or $1,000, it's like, I know your help might be good, okay, or you may feel like your help is good. I just can't in good faith, charge stupid amounts of money. But let's carry on. I got a giant blue koosh ball for the shelf. I paid $0.25 for it. I don't know what I'm doing some days. I got this for $0.25 as well. I'm sorry, Mindy. I know you sell high quality Tupperware. If anyone needs Tupperware, send Mindy a message. And thank you, CatCon, for commenting on my shirt. This is one of my favorite new shirts, and everyone seems to love it. Yeah, I need a Tupperware. I don't know what Daniel's problem is. I could hand him this Tupperware right now and say, Daniel, could you wash this and put it up for me? Okay? And I kid you not, the moment it's dry and it's on the shelf, 2 of the lids are going to be gone. Every time. Okay? This is just what happens. So I'm perpetually buying junk Tupperware, non-Tupperware, because I know he's going to lose it or destroy it. So it's going to get the job done for now. This really cute girl wearing a Sailor Moon shirt gave me this. This is one of those things where it has a fan and you stick it on your car window and it's supposed to keep your car cool. I had bought something else off of her and she's like, if you want it, you can just have it. I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, just go ahead. And then I talked with her about her shirt, her Sailor Moon shirt, and I talked about tuxedo mask, and we talked about the importance of male tropes within animation. It was a good time. But yeah, I don't think she was feeling me, so I didn't ask for her number. But great little piece, great pickup. I'm going to try it out. Hopefully it works. I'll let you know. Look at the cute panda. Panda bear. He's adorable. This is a Discovery. What is it? Let me make sure I quote this correctly. This is Planet Earth, the BBC Planet Earth documentary series. This is a promo item that came, I believe, with one of their deluxe collector's editions. This is about a $17 panda. Great little plushy piece. Last month alone, I did over $200 in stuffed animal sales. Okay, so don't discount stuffed animals. You can make a ton of money. I paid $0.25 for this again as well. They take up no space. You can stack them, squish them, ship them inside of a poly bag. Stuffed animals, if you're not buying them, you are throwing away thousands of dollars a year. I love working in plush. Great little pickup. The sales velocity isn't great on this. This is going to be a long tail. I will spend $4 in fees before this sells. I guarantee you on that. It's just going to have to marinate for a while. Get hinged lids. That is probably the best idea I've heard all week long. I love that idea. And thank you, CatCon. I love the pineapples too. And this is one of those shirts where I was looking at it, I'm like, I'm either going to rock this so hard it's going to become the gold standard for shirts, or it's going to look horrendous on me and it's going to show. So I think I might have clutched out the first. Guys, we've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. Mag lights, fantastic selling items. This is the 10-inch opposed to the 12-inch. The 10-inch ones have a tendency to sell a little bit faster. They have more velocity. The 12-inch ones are more for the cops and sheriffs and stuff like that who are using them secondary as a baton, or if you're really aggressive, you're hurling the bad boy. Have you ever seen anybody get knocked out by a mag light before? It's ridiculous. But these things are great. I paid $1 again for this. I cannot believe that people are selling mag lights for so cheap. I'll get about $20, maybe on the high end as much as 30. It's going to boil down to where the comps, the condition, yada, yada, yada. I don't need to tell you what a flashlight is or how much it's worth. Let's look at something a little more interesting. So this piece, fence energizer, okay, is going to be going with these two pieces, the cable and the ties. It's a 3-piece kit. It's to make sure your dog or other animals doesn't get out. You create your own electric fence. I was able to pick up that entire setup for about $6. The Energizer piece on its own is worth a whopping $25. If I do need to separate it because I'm going to fire one out to Amazon, that's all right as well. Forgive me, guys. That's all right as well. I've got no problem separating it out because I'm going to make money either way, so who cares? Easy money. Again, rinse, wash, repeat. If you see something brand new, pick it up, scan it. Okay. Randy says, can I hire you to set that up for me if I buy it all? I will not set that up, but I will sell it to you for a great price. You're a patron. You can pay my price on it. Like I said, I think it was around $6. It might have been 10. No. You know what? Because he had the tenner on it. I think I negotiated it down to 6, but I'll sell it to you at cost if you want it. No problem. You come local, pick it up. I'll hand it on over to you. So that girl that we were talking about regarding Tuxedo Mask, I walked up and she had this really, really nice mouse. Now, it's not as nice as my personal PC mouse, but this is a Sidewinder 8, X8. Yeah, X8. So whenever you see these guys, these are gaming mice. Now, there's a bunch of really cheap Amazon ones. There's really cheap Amazon ones coming to market that you're going to want to avoid. But the Microsoft ones and the branded ones are great. And then here is the wireless receiver, adapter, component, piece, etc. that goes with it. I'm going to get over $50 for this mouse. It is disgusting how much this thing is worth. And I looked at her and I asked her, I said, hey, how much did you want on this? She's like, I'm hoping to get $1 for it. And if $1 is what you're hoping for, I'm going to make you the happiest person ever. I'm going to go ahead and give you that full $1. Okay? And this is something that's important. I've talked about this before. Don't ever make a sucker feel bad. Okay? I learned this from Chris Roberts. It's one of the most valuable things he's probably ever taught me. And he's taught me a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. And he told me, he's like, just imagine if you're at a poker table and you got the guy across from you and he keeps losing and losing and losing and losing. And when he loses, guess what? You get paid. Okay? You make money. You profit because of it. Don't ever make the person losing across from you at the poker table feel bad. Because if he feels bad, he's not going to want to play anymore. So what do you tell him when you beat him for the 6th hand in a row? You say, oh man, I can't believe I got lucky like that. Oh man, that's a bad break, man. Hopefully you'll get the next hand. You know, hey, sometimes the cards just, they fall down that way. You know, if I could help it, I would. I'd like to see you win a couple of hands. I want to make sure you're having fun too. Okay? And here's the thing. You can wholeheartedly mean all those things as well. You don't have to be a villainous person who's saying false things. You can mean those things. But this again, you know, because we always talk, like the items, okay? You guys are smart. You don't need to see what items I got. This is all fun show and tell. You know, the importance of our time together is so that way we can grow smart and we can grow better at what we do. We aren't here just to, exchange tales. We're here to become sharper buyers, sharper sellers, and hopefully sharper people as a whole, okay? And yeah, Amy said it right. No kidding. Be humble. Appreciate the offers that people are giving you and the prices that they're giving you. Tell them thank you. Tell them have a great day. You want to know something funny, guys? 2 times on Saturday, I was recognized. Okay? I've been in this town 4 months now. 2 times while yard sailing. Somebody says, oh, you were at my sale 2 weeks ago, right? Oh, you went to my grandma's house. I was doing a sale at my grandma's house. You were over there, right? Like 2 weeks ago? I'm like, yeah, that was me. Good to see you again. Okay? If people aren't remembering you from one yard sale to the next, and they just saw you a week before, you have not made a lasting impression with them. Okay? You want to thank them for their time. You want to ask them about their day. Get to know their story. Leave your information with them if they're good people. I met some fantastic people this weekend. Of all the things that I tell you guys, okay, don't get me wrong. I love getting items. I love making, I don't love making money. I love getting items, and I value and respect the importance of making money, and I enjoy doing it in a way that isn't that difficult, okay? And for me, the experiences mean so much more to me. Being able to talk with wonderful people. I talked with a guy this weekend, and he talked to me about the importance that Christianity has played in his life to assist him in him and his wife quitting smoking. He talked with me about the trials and tribulations that he went through. He talked to me about his new joy for listening to Joel Osteen on the radio while he is traveling. I learned so much from talking and sharing my experiences with him back and forth about different things. Debbie does sales, This is my first time here. I am here forever. You are so refreshing. Debbie, that is the nicest thing anyone has said to me today. No, it's so much appreciated. And that's what I'm talking about. Guys, it's about the positivity. It's about the love and the energy that we can share with each other. And I don't mean to sound sappy or anything like that, but this community means so much to me. And we are so isolated. If you guys haven't learned this, we are so isolated from almost everyone else within this space. I got torn apart in the comments the other day in someone else's feed. We're going to go ahead and talk about this right now. I feel it's relevant, and then we're going to look at some more items. And Debbie, thank you so much for that. Please come join our community. Come join our Facebook group. If you enjoy positive discourse and having some fun working with other resellers, not only our Facebook, but our Patreon, okay? You're going to love it, okay? Thank you again for that super chat. It means the world to me. So, carrying on, not to sound short with you, but carrying on, there's been some bad actors again, guys. Okay? And I hate the fact that I have to go in circles about this. And I don't want to say names. But at the same time, it might be a bit cowardice if I don't. You guys can tell me. I'm not here for conflict, but I am very much so not afraid to fight for the things that I believe in and fight for the things that I know are true. But my personality, my traits, my characteristics make it a little bit difficult for me to speak on certain things without an abrasive edge. There's been some people who have been posting up videos online, and I saw a video last night that got me very, very upset, and it was sent to me by somebody. I didn't go out of my way to find this. I didn't try and create problems. This isn't YouTube drama or anything like that, which you may have heard of from other people. But somebody put up a video saying, hey, I've been refreshing my listings. I've been delisting my items and relisting them. This experiment is really helping my sales. And thank you to the person who just disliked my video as well. It's been great having you. Have a great day. So, I saw the video that was sent to me, and he was talking about all these things. Now, the thing is, I've thoroughly debunked this topic, okay? I can prove without a shadow of a doubt that delisting and relisting your items is not going to help your sell-through. Your own individual experiences may vary, but that's based on pigeon logic, and we have a fully dedicated 20-plus minute video on the topic. Now, there's two people that did this, and one person was told, hey, go check out this video, okay? Jay with Bolorama, he's fully debunked it. And you know what the person said? I am not going to watch Bolorama's videos. I will not watch them, okay? And we got somebody saying the comment chain is what made me check out your channel last night, and thank you for coming across to our show. Now, the first person said, I will not watch Bolorama's content. I will not watch his videos. Okay, that's a very defensive stance to take. And you know what? I've said great things about this creator in the past. I will not be plugging creators during the main show anymore because of this. Okay, he on multiple occasions has put up incorrect videos, and one of them was so far incorrect, he delisted the video. Now here's the problem. Okay, if you put up a video and let's say 3,000 people watch that video, and they take that information on board and they consume it as fact because you're in a position of power as a trainer, as a teacher, as an educator, they take it on as fact. Now, if you go and delete that video and then you say nothing about it, those 3,000 people are still going to believe what you've told them because you haven't gone back and corrected them. When I make a mistake, you better believe I will be right back. And remember that night where my show got screwed up and I made a mistake? What did I come back the next day and do? I reshot the entire 3-hour show again because there was errors with the original show. And my standards mean a lot to me because your business is hinging on my advice. This isn't harmless advice. Now there wouldn't be a problem if it was harmless. Okay? And if somebody said, I like doing this because it's fun, and it might help my sales. And what that thing might be, I don't know. Maybe they put a red border around their images because they feel it might attract more people, even though it goes against eBay's terms of service as far as how you can do your photos. You're not supposed to do that. But maybe what they're suggesting is harmless. Okay, but if you're telling somebody to do something like delisting all of your items and relisting them, you are doing significant damage to that person's store. You lose all of your watchers, you lose all of the people who have bookmarked your link. Any indexing that you've had within Google is completely gone. Okay, so if you've had your listings indexed and Google has ranked them, that is completely gone. Now, 40% of my sales come off of Google. Why? Because my listings have been online for, some of them, years on end. So when people are looking for a specific item, they rank really, really well because they've matured on Google. Okay, and to say by delisting them and relisting them, you're somehow going to get this magical bump. Most consumers shop through Google. Okay, think about the habituated consumer. We live in the ecosystem of eBay. Okay, that's us. This is what we do here, is we go through eBay because we're eBay sellers. Go out and talk with friends, family, and peers and ask them, where do you shop? Most people, they either start with Amazon or they start with Google. If you have a Prime subscription, I guarantee you they're going to start on Amazon. If they don't, the average consumer starts on Google. So what's more important, how I rank in eBay or how I rank in Google? Now, both are important, but to heck with it. I can win in both. All I have to do is just leave my items online. Now, when all of this outcry happened and everyone's like, this is the end of eBay, this is the death blow to my store, this is the end of the world because I can't list and sell the way I want to sell, I want to remind you, how many of your trainers, how many of your experts talked about the fact that eBay reduced their third-party ad spend in Q1? They spent millions of dollars less on advertising on Facebook, on eBay, or not on eBay, on Google, on Facebook, on TV, on print. They spent millions less dollars on advertising. So let me ask, how can you verify what you are doing is working if you don't control eBay's ad budget? If their ad budget was $250 million in Q1, and then the ad budget is $1 billion in Q2, how do you know what you're doing is benefiting? We got a lot of comments coming in. I will read all of these. So I leave a comment. I say, hey, I hate to say this, hate to be the bearer of bad news. And sometimes we add our own tone to what we read. Another thing I've learned from Chris Roberts, you can say something friendly, but it can be read in a very vile way. And I said, hey, I put a video out about this, and I've debunked this thoroughly. Okay. And you should be more considerate of what you're telling your base because you're causing real damage. And I was met with some of the most disgusting and vile vitriol comments that I have seen directed at me in my entire career here on YouTube. Just disgusting stuff from people that support him. And here's the thing. I want to tell everyone who's watching now. If you are a fan of my work, I'll never say a fan of me. I'm just some guy who talks about the news. If you enjoy my videos, if you enjoy the page, if you're a fan of me, please don't ever say mean things to people who question the stuff that I do. Okay? We are certainly above that. I will never defend anyone who supports me if they go and attack somebody else. We are 100% better than that. But I was called an effing prick, okay? For stating facts. And for what am I trying to do? I am trying to help other people make more money. And I was told that because my channel only has 1,300 subscribers, and this other person, Craigslist Hunter, has 100,000 subscribers, that there's no way that I can be right. That there's no way that anything I can be saying is true because they have 100,000 subscribers and I only have 1,300. And I couldn't even formulate the words to respond to that level of logic. It makes no sense. But I was getting bombarded with disgusting messages. And even other people joined in too. And it shocked me to my core. I reached out to Pam and I talked with Pam about this. And she told me, she's like, Jay, just calm down. It's going to be okay. And I told her, I sent her an audio message. Let me see if I can find it. I sent her an audio message last night because I was so upset. And I wasn't upset because I was being called names. Okay. That wasn't it at all. I'm scrolling for it really quick, guys. I also want to thank you, Pam, for always being a good person, being there for me. Okay, this is what I sent her. Let me see if I can. What I'm getting at, Pam, is that every time I look at these damn American videos, it just makes me upset. It just saddens me so much to know that people are clinging onto these words, these false ideas, goddamn false prophets, these wannabe gurus who do not know what they are talking about, who use no real data whatsoever. It saddens me greatly to know that people are placing their trust in them blindly because maybe they click with their personality or the way that they present. It horrifies me as well. That's why I'm so frustrated. That's why I'm not going to watch any more of it, because it alters my moods. And just like in real life, when somebody brings drama, chaos, sadness, problems into my life constantly, what do? You just cut them out. It's simple as that. Yep, and that's the honest to God truth, guys. Because I know some people can see me here in camera and think that I'm putting on this show or this facade, okay? I genuinely care about helping the people who watch me. I could make so much more money if I didn't do this, but I do this by choice, okay? I lose money every single week that I'm here because I can only spend 15 hours a week doing eBay because I spend 25 hours a week doing this. Let me look at some of these comments, guys. I'm going to read through some of them. I don't usually hit dislike because it's not worth the click, but I always hot like for something good like Jay. Or hit like for something good like Jay. Thank you for that. That's CatCon who said that. Haters gonna hate from Mindy. I needed to hear this. Thank you, Amy. It's hard to know what's right in the world of YouTube. And here's the thing, guys, okay? We're gonna expand upon this one more step further, okay? I'm not going to tell you what to do. Ever. Okay? Your business, your life, your time, okay? But just be careful, please. Okay? There's bad advice that's costing a lot of people a lot of money. Thank you again for that extra dislike, whoever left that one. You know, I understand that some of my opinions are going to be upsetting to some people. Okay? But my facts shouldn't upset you. Okay? Facts are facts. You can't argue with the facts. There was a comment in here. Check my eBay analytics and was happy to see that the black bar showing hits to my listings outside of eBay. Yep. Off-site traffic is very, very important. Miguel Gondinas, 199 super chat. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, buddy. I truly do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And I can't stress this enough, guys. This is so far from an act. It's just, it's a lot, guys. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. And here's the thing. You know what I say? I say the cream is going to rise to the top. And, it's challenging. W. Sales says, Jay, sometimes people have more followers because they are so rude and try to pull people down to their level. I know sales in the business for over 20 years. This guy who hurt me is a joke. Yeah. And the thing is, there is going to be some, there's going to be some people who mean well. Man, who called in the reinforcements? I guess the word must be getting out that I'm live right now and somebody's telling everyone to come dislike my video. So there are going to be situations where things are going to be accidental, okay? Where people are accidentally going to be giving out bad advice. And then there's also people who are doing it maliciously because of financial gain. People don't generally talk about monetization or the value of doing YouTube videos. There's certain people that are making a lot of money. If you've ever been curious, if a video receives 1 million views, the creator on average will earn about $10,000. Okay. It's a lot of money. Okay. And some people will continue to produce content purely motivated for the finances, long beyond the actual practical need to create videos. The word's out. I'm hot now. And here's the thing, and Pam, I guess keep your guard up. We're probably going to get some hate comments. The word is out. And the thing is, I've never intentionally tried to burn bridges or anything, but it really horrifies me. It horrifies me a lot to see some of the stuff going around, because the effects of delisting and relisting your items, it can take up to a year sometimes to fix that type of action on your account. It's difficult. Rise and Grind Picker, haven't seen you in here in forever. A lot of YouTubers make money for short periods of time. The money is in the selling. There's multiple ways of generating revenue via this platform. So, we kind of went on a long tangent about it, but I know you got called in here, but if you want to check the beginning of the little rant I made, we didn't talk about you at all. We were talking about somebody else within the community. So. And Shane, I don't think I've ever once said anything bad about you, ever. So Misha says, I think you are a positive person. I'm glad when I can catch you live. I hope they don't continue to bully. I appreciate your advice and your content. Yeah, it's going to happen sometimes. There's people that are going to have conflicting opinions, and yeah, it's important. Like I said, my position is to try and disseminate falsehoods. I just don't want people doing things that are going to negatively impact their stores, their platforms, their ability to make money. Because you got to keep in mind, there's certain people, and I've said this before, they're not just feeding themselves, they're feeding their families. And those who are wholly reliant on e-commerce to be able to cover all of their bills, which there's a lot of people like that. I've spent many, many years of my life that way. If you give that person bad advice, you could be negatively impacting the quality of their life and their ability to provide for themselves and those around them. So, no, didn't get called in. We canceled our show tonight, building a shipment and listening. Well, I appreciate that. Sorry, the reason I say that is because we've just had a rash of people come in and dislike the video after I started speaking on a very touchy subject. I was getting harassed in the comments section on another video for pointing out things that were completely untrue that was being told to other sellers. So FGS says, there are several top resellers I don't watch because I don't feel they are genuine and I don't feel I get good information from them. I generally like the newbies best. Well, here's the same. I'll tell you what I tell any woman that I meet. Okay, that the guy you get today is going to be the same guy you get 10 years from now. Okay, I do not change. This is just how I am. I talk with some people, like, I genuinely enjoy helping other people. And if I can spend my entire existence doing that, that will be a fantastic life for me. I really hope that's how I can live my days out. It's just helping other people. Since I work with a 501c3, I have to be nice to everybody, and that really sucks. Yeah. And I'll be honest, when it comes to running a 501c3, and those of you who aren't familiar, it's the form, the application, the process of being a nonprofit organization is what that is. And Pat, did you make sure you submitted your documentation to eBay to make sure you get your tax exemption? And then make sure you talk with your local state laws regarding tax credits on the back end as well. But yeah, you kind of have to be nice when you're in the public eye. I used to own a game store in Fresno, and we would get some really, really bad people, and we really had to keep our cool on all of it. Susan, the one and only. I love you, Susan. Susan's going to be joining me for some thrifting this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys are real lucky, on our Facebook group, we will be streaming from the world famous Woolworths, the last one in America. We will be streaming just a bit from there. I want to make sure I get my one-on-one time with her. But yeah, we're gonna do a little of that. Yeah. So let's take a look at some more items, guys. Let's take a peek at some of the other pickups that I got this week while we got everyone here. We got 42 people watching. Don't know how. I do know how, but I don't know how. So I picked this up, guys. Look how nice this camera is. God, I love this new camera. It just autofocus like a beast. These are one of those sprinkler timer setups. Now, anytime you buy one of these, you want to ask why, okay? You want to ask the person, why are you selling this? Because believe it or not, it's a unit that likes to go out randomly. They just like to fail sometimes, and when they fail, there's no real easy way to fix them. Now, that unit right there is worth about $40 to $60, and I looked at the guy and said, hey, why are you selling it? He's like, oh, I just upgraded to one of those new eco ones. And we talked about his we talked about his rye fescue blend that he had in his backyard and how he needed a timer that he would be able to program to water his yard 6 times a day while the seed was coming in. And that's why he was selling that one. So great return on investment. I paid maybe $2 or $3 for it, and I'll get $50 for it on the back end. We're coming into that season as well, guys. This is the time where you want to start being conscious of summer items and the importance of making money on those. And now, guys, I got another item. I need to know, am I being stupid, or is this exactly what I think it is? Okay? This is the item right here. I'm going to let you guys talk first about what this is before I even say what I think it is. Because I'm 99% sure what this is. Any guesses? Okay, future fortune. Why is your comment getting banned? Okay, that's exactly what I thought. I thought this was a shoehorn. Now, I don't know if there is some secondary purpose for this, but this must be the longest shoehorn I've ever seen in my life. Okay, this thing is as long as my arm. And you know what's really dumb? My shoehorn went missing the other day. How the heck do you lose a shoehorn? I went downstairs. I think Daniel took it. I don't even know. He probably didn't even take it for shoe purposes. He probably took it for something else, but it's just gone. Okay, so I found this. I paid 25 cents for it. It's metal. It's a really nice construction. I'm gonna horn the heck out of some shoes with this bad boy. And, you know, I do also want to give an extra special thank you to everyone who's here for the first time. And I do want to balance it out. I want to let you guys know that even with all the hate, the vitriol, I got disliked, bombed on a couple of my videos, even with all of that happening, there was 2 people that stepped out of the woodwork and said, you know what, hey, I saw your comment. I went and watched a bunch of your videos. You know what, you are the real deal. I like what you're doing. What you said really did make sense, and I'm happy I didn't listen to everyone else. And to the people who did say those lovely things to me, and even the lovely people here in the comments right now, thank you so much for that, okay? Because it does help restore my faith in humanity that we're not all sheeple, and we're not just flocking to whoever's coming along that is the face of the would-be face of authority. Guys, I got one more bin here. So some of these items here in this bin are from last week. I don't know how many more we're going to do. We're probably going to do, I don't know, 2 or 3 more items. And then I'm thinking about taking a week off of sourcing just so that I can play a little bit more catch up. Guys, you saw me pick this up at the swap meet. This is a Smurfs pennant. Now, I didn't look this up myself because I was able to acquire it for so cheap. Mindy had told me during the stream that this item was worth roughly $32. So fantastic little pickup. Yep, there we go. A little bit worse for wear on the back, but not that bad. Shoe horns for the elderly that can't reach down. Use it in the sitting position. I can use it in the standing position. That's how long that bad boy is. And it's a really heavy metal. I am thrilled to have that new shoe horn. Pam, you're mean. Hang it up. It doesn't have a hang-up hole. That's the only thing about it. So I'm going to fashion something on the end. And you guys are going to love my new walkthrough, my garage. We're probably going to release a video on Wednesday. I may even just do a live stream and bring you guys down there and talk about all the facets of my garage. It's going to sound ridiculous, but I could probably spend 4 hours talking to you guys about the optimizations that I've done within my garage to make my workflow so much faster. I can get in and out of there with a dozen packages in probably 15 minutes. The flow is fantastic in there. Okay, guys, we probably got about another 15 minutes before this super high-res, ultra-crispy presentation is going to have to come to an end. It is juicing my computer hard right now. We've been live for 2 hours, 45 minutes. Do you generally stay away from clothing? I actually listed a Patagonia size 2T children's vest just this week. And, you know, every now and then when I come across a really nice piece, again, I always say if you find something that's surprisingly unique, something that catches you off guard, you should certainly look into it. But I would say soft goods is one of my weakest positions right now. I am doing a collab with a really great creator coming up here soon, where I believe she is going to be challenging me to find clothing, and I will be challenging her to find hard goods. So I will be spending, I don't know, 20 to 30 hours learning clothing so that way I can be a little bit more proficient. It's going to be interesting. Fatman the Flipper, thanks for joining in as well. But yeah, we're chugging through our show. And here's the thing, guys. I know some of you guys are here for the first time. If you haven't done so yet, click like on the video. We've been getting some hate. We've had some haters as of recent, which is unfortunate. And the big thing too, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel. It definitely helps us out with our growth. It's your subscription. Your subscription to my channel is your seal of approval for what we are doing here. So I genuinely appreciate it. Let's take a look at a few more things. Mindy, this is one for you. Okay, you're going to love this one. It's not often I get MCM, aka mid-century modern items. And as soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, Mindy's going to flip when she sees this. Do you guys have people in your life like that? When you find items, you think about somebody else immediately? Check out this beauty of a clock. Isn't that just gorgeous? Let me get my face out of the way so I can focus on that clock. That is a beauty. And it is heavy. It even has the cord winder on the bottom so you can spin the cord together. This is a Jefferson clock made in good old America. Very, very solid housing on it. It is amazing, this piece. This clock, cleaned up, I do have a strong belief I'm going to get $60 for this. Now, I've seen completed somewhere in the $40, $45, $50 range, but great staging, clean it up nicely, make it look the part. I promise you, okay, you can get that max value $60 out of this bad boy. As you can see from the front, I paid a whopping $4.44 on this. Great price to pay, and there's no major scuffs or scratches, just a bunch of fingerprints and smudges across the outside. And yes, it is a nice clock. I get commented on how nice my clock is all the time. It's a beautiful piece. FL Adam, we already knew it was going to be a good show. Oh, thank you. I'd like to think every show is moderately decent and up. So this is the item that I had that I was worried I left in the car. Maybe you guys can tell me a little bit more about it than I know already. This is a melt concern. I probably won't even be able to store this inside the garage. I don't know what it is, but when I see stuff like this, I've just got to buy it. This is a candle that's shaped like a wizard. It's hand carved. It has a staff in it, and then if we spin it around to the back, we can actually see that there's a shell in his back, and I believe there might be, there's a shell on top, there's a shell in here. I believe there's a large amount of shells inside of this piece. He does have some marks here on the back. You can tell he's been laid down, and he got a little bit melty on something, which is unfortunate, but yeah. And it doesn't have the bottom sticker, which would normally show the manufacturer, the maker's mark. But I was able to find some good information online. No need to send it over anyone. $2 is what I paid for this. I believe I'm going to get, conservatively, $20. Could be as much as $40 if it's a difficult variation to find. God, they keep sending the haters over. How disappointing. And that's the thing about it, too, guys. I have to say this. Like, if that's... if you're the type of person where doing negative things to other people brings you joy, or it gives you a certain level of validation, where you feel like you're playing the role of a hero, or you're playing the role of vindicating somebody by taking negative action against somebody else, you may really want to stop and take an introspective look at yourself and ask yourself, what kind of toxicity are you carrying? And that's the thing about, we talked about this on Corey's channel, the Reseller Roundup. We talked about how I said I don't get fazed by comments. Like, I don't allow those things to hurt me. I don't allow those things to affect me. I always tell people, like, you have full agency over what you choose to allow to hurt you, what you choose to negatively impact you. And yeah, I don't let those things get under my skin, and it took a lot of practice to be able to get to that point. So I say, if you're harboring negativity within you, just like I said before, do your best to release it, okay? Just block people that bring you pain and anger, anguish, suffering, negativity. Just get them out of your life. And don't go out of your way to visit people, okay, that you want to share negativity with. Take that same energy and go give positivity to somebody else. It's the same amount of effort and the same amount of energy that it takes to be sad. It's the same amount of energy to be happy. So given the choice, you may as well take happy every time. And Amy, on the topic of buying your first home, being a first-time home buyer, possibly getting a home loan, mortgage, if you're thinking about taking your home on the road with you, if you're talking about, maybe encouraging a friend to speak with a realtor about getting a home or a mortgage or any type of home insurance, anything to that effect, this is the place that you need to be, okay? Honestly. Buy your first house. Talk with me about it today. And yes, Lisa, a lot of people have been wondering about home loans, and now is a better time than ever to consider buying your first house. So thank you for that. Thank you. And that's the other thing too. Something that's absolutely fantastic that I've seen is that I've noticed. I don't even think I can talk about this on air. No, I can't talk about it. I'm sorry. Yeah, but things. You have your own agency. Be happy, guys. Just be happy. Don't go find people and bring them negativity, okay? Or as me and Pam were talking about, don't yuck up somebody's yum. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you guys need to check out Zay Frank. And there's very few, YouTubers that I will ever recommend ever again. But Zay Frank is certainly one. He is an old school YouTuber. He's been on the platform for 15 years, I think. And some of his videos, there's one called Yuck Up My Yum, is what you can type in. And he spreads some of the best positivity and the mindset. It's very philosophical in a very easy to digest type of way. Let's go ahead and take a look at one last item, and then we'll wrap up for the evening, guys. We'll do final thoughts and everything. Tobin James Cellar Coffee Cup. Somebody sold a pair of these online for $30. There's no singles available, no singles ever sold. You can see it has a bit of a 3D relief here on the front. God, look how nice that looks. Look at this high definition. Holy cow. I am just blown away by this camera, guys. This thing is gorgeous. The things we're going to be able to do at eBay Open are going to be fantastic. So, I believe I'm going to get $20 for this as a standalone. It'll be good. It'll be easy money. Guys, that's our items. That is really our items for the day. God, is my button not working again? I've had to reprogram so much to be able to get everything working the way that I've wanted it to work. Let me make sure I'm centered. I look centered. Okay, guys. You know what? I need a little bit of, does my music work? Do I have music working? Let's see. I can turn it up on my end. I'm going to turn it up high on my end. Keep it low on your end, guys. Guys, this has been a very interesting and varied show. We've been on air for coming up on 3 hours right now. Okay? And, every week I talk with you about all kinds of stuff, okay? Not just reselling, not just, what's going on within the community, but I talk with you about the importance of making positive life changes for yourself. I don't ever want to come across as too preachy or, anything more than I need you to be. And the thing is, I know that when this part of the show comes along, there's some of you who simply excuse yourself. And I want to thank you for staying this long. And there's a certain group of you who decide to stay and say, you know what, I want to hear what Jay has to say, what he wants to share with me about his life. And last week, we talked about how each failure in life is a fantastic opportunity to grow and move forward, and that it's only through those failures that we get an opportunity to learn and be a better person. If we are right every single time, we have no opportunity to learn anything, because why would we need to? We're right, okay? And this week, not only was I planning on talking about the YouTuber thing at this end of the show, and again, please do not go send that person any hate. That is not the goal of the discussion that we had. The goal of the discussion was to make sure that you stay mindful and that you stay an intellectual skeptic. And when there's something that doesn't sound right, do some independent research, figure it out. And if you're still not sure, ask somebody that you trust, and ask somebody that has no motive to give you an answer that you want to hear. Okay? Unbiased, empirical, fact-based data is very important, regardless of where you get it from. And there's a plethora of great content creators out there across all categories that you can check out. But today, I want to talk about the importance and understanding the cost of being liked. And now there's some people that are doing it the wrong way. Okay, and they're saying things simply to gather attention, and the importance of making sure that you slow down. And I tell people this all the time, you know, keep your eyes and ears open and keep your mouth shut, because that's your opportunity to learn. Okay, but my goal here is to find a certain level of independence within this brand. I do plan to make greater efforts to separate this entity from a lot of the other entities out there. And again, I'm not naming names. I'm not saying anything bad about anyone's channel or anything to that effect. But what I am saying is that a certain level of independence is really going to help this brand move forward. And sometimes within your life, you might be in a situation where you find yourself relying on a person or relying on a brand or relying on a certain thing to happen each month or each week or whatever it might be. And for you, I say, try and find a higher level of independence. When you can remove other variables from your business, when you can remove other variables from your life, the less spots and points of failure that you have, the more successful you can be overall. You're just simply mitigating that risk within your life. And separating this channel a little bit more is really going to help me with mitigating risk. And it's the same type of lesson that can be applied to you and what you're doing currently. Okay, that was a cool song. Let's hear the other one. There we go. Let's get a little bit of jams. Okay. So, and the last thing that I wanted to share with it, and thank you again for another dislike. You guys are so great tonight. Okay. Remember, there's a big difference between doing things that are harmless, okay, that can be things that you might want to do but can't necessarily positively impact things, harmless advice, and then there's things with advice that might be exploitative. Okay, be mindful, sift through this. And I'm not just talking about in business, I'm not just talking about in YouTube, but be mindful in the real world too. I've always told my friends, if anyone is ever going to give you advice, okay, you can't hear the music? I got the music, Mindy. Let me make sure you guys got the music too. Hold on. Let me double check. Advanced audio properties, monitor and output. Yeah, no, the music's there. Okay. I've always said, okay, and thank you to the 2 extra dislikes right now. I've always said that, okay, if you're going to take advice from anyone, okay, make sure that they're willing to take the consequences that comes of it, okay, and make sure you fully understand the motivation behind it, okay. Some people are very motivated by other things. You know, we've used the word mammon on air before, and those that aren't familiar, it's anything that you can worship more than God himself. And I'm not a religious man, but there are some people out there who very much so worship money, or the process of making money, or the process of using people to make money. But there's a lot of ways that people can worship these things that aren't of significance in anyone's life except for theirs. You have to be very careful of this advice that you get, and it can be within relationships, it can be within friendships, it can be within business, it can be everywhere. So please be careful of the advice that comes your direction, and take it with a little extra grain of salt, especially when there's money on the line. Okay? Guys, this has been the Sunday Reseller Roundup. Now, if those of you who do not know, every week we update the outro on the show. We have a lot of fun. We make it a little bit different. We try and, I don't know, just be stupid. It's my one opportunity every week to do something that's separate from the business. It's my one opportunity to do something that's truly unique on my channel and get away with it. And this week's outro, I don't know why, it is 4 minutes long. It is the dumbest thing ever. But again, don't yuck up somebody's yum. It brings me joy to make these outros for you. You know, it's one of my few places that I can have a creative outlet. And again, we'll talk about creative outlets on next week's outro. I think that would be a good direction to go. So, if you've never seen the outro before, you're going to be very confused. You're going to be in for a treat. They're just stupid. So, guys, this has been the Sunday Reseller Roundup for June 9th, 2019. It's been a heck of a show. Thank you to everyone who's been here with me tonight. Thank you to all of those of you who have helped support the show via Patreon. All of our patrons, I truly do appreciate. Here, let's get that slide up one more time. I do appreciate I do appreciate all of our patrons for helping this show along, keeping us on the air, making sure that we're able to continue to get financial upgrades. Extra special thank you to Pam, Matthew, Pamela, Ashley, Anna and Joe, Allie, Lee James, Brandy, and Rob, as well as everyone else. Thank you to all the supporters this evening. And if you guys want to see a really stupid outro, I really, truly hope you're ready for it. It's going to be a little bit dumb, but, you know, sometimes you just have to do stupid things that make you happy in life, and that's fine. I'll see you guys soon. I don't know when. Maybe I'll take a sabbatical. Who knows? And remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. Have a great day, and thank you again. Man, oh man, was that a heck of a show that we just had. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, Jay, you were just here a second ago. You said you were going to roll the outro, and we're still talking. Why are we still talking if you said you were going to do the outro? Because this is the outro, and you didn't even realize it. Yeah, I know things don't always seem as they appear, but I thought I would make a little gaff of it, have a little bit of fun. So just like with the last one, 10 revisions. This is number 7, you rule. Of 10 that you're going to be seeing over the next 10 weeks. We've been doing this forever now. So I guess we'll start out as always and say thank you to our base level patrons. Thank you to all of you for supporting the show for so long. Some of you guys have been around forever. I truly appreciate that. And then I also want to give a thank you to our premium level patrons. Those of you who have been contributing even more to help keep us on air. Thank you to all of you as well. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Obviously, there's no green screen, but we're going to have a whole lot of fun with this. And lastly, we have our premium tier patrons, which I don't think we have any as of now. Well, if we do, place some right there, but I don't think we do. So thank you so much for watching, and just remember, your guys' continued support is what keeps me on air and keeps me working hard and keeps me digging up the truth, so that way we can all grow smarter and financially proficient together. That's about it. Have a great day. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Complete, yep. No, I told him the same thing. I told him. I'm like, just because you think it works doesn't mean that it actually works. Oh yeah, no. I'm totally aware. Has a huge subscriber base. Plenty of people watch his content. That's just the state of YouTube right now. You can't run around just making up stuff and telling people that it works. It's 2019. You have to be able to provide some type of evidence or proof for what you're saying. Otherwise, it's just a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors.